All right, it's an exciting Sunday afternoon. Lots happening. How are you doing today? Hi, Chloe. Good to see you. Hi, Elder Barry. How are you doing? And Desert Rose. Good to see you. Says there's a few more here, but no chat so far. So it's good to see you guys. Have a lot of tabs that I've opened up. There's lots to talk about. Lots happening. We'll wait for people to roll in. See how many we get on our fishing trip. My daughter is getting married today. She's down in Florida. She's with a man she loves, so it's a good thing. It is a green card wedding because if they don't do it, she won't be able to stay in Florida. Hi, Kim B. They were planning on getting married in any case, but this makes it faster. And they're going to have a secondary wedding, a confirmation of their vows, sometime in January. So I get to go down and see that if the government doesn't stop me by making me have to take a jibby jab or something. We've thought of a few ways around that. Taking a cab across might work, or because you can't take a train or a plane if they install their mandates again. Maybe even a helicopter ride might do it too. Thank you, Chloe. Thank you, Kim. So we're waiting to see if we get a video, a live video of it, or a recording will be nice. Either or, doesn't matter. That's awesome. So we're waiting for that today. So I may duck out and leave you guys hanging. But here's a link for anyone who wishes to come up and join me. We've got a lot of subjects to cover. Jordan Peterson, space lasers, all kinds of stuff. Hey, Paradox, good to see ya. Let me go over and pin this on YouTube. Give me a second here. Doo-doo. There we are. Okay. Hi, you tell me. You're hitting the shower? Okay, so you want to go on live with us or something? First time I saw you tell me was over on Freedom Growers channel, and Freedom opened up the panel and let people come in. So you tell me came in. He was in the shower. Yeah. So you take your phone into the shower, don't you? You tell me, so we can still talk to you. So we'll be in the bathroom with you tell me. Just some information you probably didn't want to hear. But you tell me he's a proud man, so he's fine with it. I don't know if Rose is still here or not. Okay, let's get on with some things here. Ah, this was a good one. We always talk about them. And let's see, there we are. Here's some extra confirmation, as if we needed any. But there's an interesting thing in here that I saw.
Vibrates at a certain frequency. Rife discovered this and found out you can cure pretty much anything by finding what frequency you need. Even each vertebrae in your spine has a different frequency and attached to different organs and other functions. You can even find the frequency of
Oh yeah,
herbs and essential oils and just use that frequency instead of using the
yeah, he's nude in chat.
You can find what frequency attacks cancer, parasites, and pretty much any other disease. And there's a lot of frequency generation apps or software you can find. Detox your limbs, pretty much anything, even drug.
I want to find out what this book is he has.
food poisoning.
He doesn't leave anything in the
metals,
link.
And parasites is something
So-
we should all focus on detoxing right now.
Let's see here.
Snapshot put all the nice medicine and essential oils. All you need to do
We'll
is
check in
take
the,
a seat and relax in the line back at
in the bottom there.
Keep evolving, everyone.
Thank you. Okay, so yeah, we all knew that. I just wanted to check out that book he had. He didn't show us the title, but let me see if he's got anything down here. It's all frequency more. No, he doesn't have any extra links to that. So thought the book he had was interesting. That might be a good thing to find.
Where you
He doesn't. I'd like to find this book. Very interesting. So I'll have to take a further look into that. Which one was that? There we go. Let's drop that out. See, which one is this? Oh yeah, the Reese report. Here we go.
In 1972, The Limits to Growth,
Sorry if that's
published
too
by
loud.
the Club of Rome. The book suggested that swift human depopulation would save the planet. In 2018, The Limits to Growth co-author to murder millions of people.
The planet can support something like 1 billion people, maybe 2 billion, depending on how much liberty and how much material consumption you want to have. If you want more liberty and more consumption, you have to have fewer people. And conversely, you can have more people. I mean, we could even have 8 or 9 billion probably if we have a very strong dictatorship, which is smart. That's unfortunately, you never have smart dictatorships. They're always stupid. So, but if you had a smart dictatorship and a low standard of living, you can have a, but we want to have freedom and we want to have a high sentence. So we're going to have 1 billion people. And we're now at 7, so we have to get back down. I hope that this can be slow, relatively slow, and that it can be done in a way which is relatively equal.
Overpopulation is a lie. With old school sustainable farming and the end of big government, there is enough room on this
Morgan.
planet for several billion. And while the Earth's climate does change, most of what we are seeing is contrived. The fires breaking out all across the world are being blamed on climate change, even though hundreds of arsonists have been caught starting them. Most recently, 79 people were arrested for starting fires in Greece. Direct energy weapons, or DEWs, are able to start fires from above and can utilize microwave technology to burn homes from within. In 2013, the mainstream media reported that we were able to make rain and lightning.
I mean, lasers, really? To change the weather?
By firing trillion-watt lasers, you rip apart the electrons, creating what are called ions, and these ions act like seed dust particles, bringing down rain and even lightning.
This
Right.
week in Michigan, residents reported a strange strobe-like lightning. The event was captured on weather radar, which showed a very unnatural-looking spiral.
That's some conspiracy theory shit right there.
Making it rain has been possible for decades, and we have come a long way since then. With the high known as HARP, we can now create hurricanes, and we can control their direction with next generation weather radar transmitters known as NEXRAD. By building up an electromagnetic charge and dispersing it underground as direct current VLF waves, or very low frequency waves, the NEXRAD radar transmitters are able to trigger earthquakes. Earthquakes and explosives can trigger tsunamis. These are the technologies that we know of, and that only leaves volcanoes and tornadoes. funded by Peter Thiel, AVE Tech Energy Corporation began work in 2012 on a device to produce a 130-foot tall tornado. And a former U.S. intelligence officer recently told State of the Nation that the U.S. has already triggered a volcano. Climate change is not only a hoax, it's a depopulation program, and our entire government is going along with it. Reporting for InfoWars, this is Greg Reese.
Link his channel there. No, I didn't know he's making content now. Yeah, so let's go over a couple more here. Where are we here? Yeah.
On the 28th of January 2023, the Japanese Subaru telescope operating from Hawaii captured the moment a Chinese satellite began firing laser beams all over Hawaii's Mauna Kea.
You guys remember this?
Space. Why? A simulation of the trajectories of satellites that have a similar instrument and found a most likely candidate is the ACDL instrument by the Chinese Dakai-1 AEMS satellite. Footage of the incident shows green laser light beaming curtaining over the cloudy sky over Mauna Kea in Hawaii. U.S. security experts are concerned by the invasive action from China. It was an obvious test of something, but what that something is, nobody knows this side of the Pacific.
Why test it over Hawaii? Interesting fact. Interesting question. Hey, Toth. Yeah, lasers, right? To dissipate a tornado, they could. They could use them for either purpose. They could settle our weather and make it pretty cool and normal, or they can use it for nefarious purposes, which is what they really seem to want to do.
On the 11th of August, 2023, the South China Morning Post reported that Chinese military scientists claim to have achieved a huge breakthrough in laser weapon technology. They now claim to have a laser weapon that can run indefinitely. Chinese scientists reportedly developed a cooling system that blows gas through
Indy.
the weapon to push out heat and optimize the flow of the laser for precision shooting. And they could potentially do this from space, as they tested out back in January of this year over Hawaii.
Claim they can sustain a laser. That's pretty cool. It's great for gathering information. Yeah, it's. But if you can take it for information. Most of these communication devices can be used for weaponization. So is it such a crazy theory to think that they use lasers from space? I don't think it is. Get rid of a couple of tabs here. Okay, where are you? Right. Many other nations have lots of green energy already. Yeah, I know. There is lots of good green energy. That is propaganda pushed by the big oil and gas oligarchs to keep making billions. Oh yeah, that's why they fund things like Extinction Rebellion. They're doing the two-sided attack on that, right? They get subsidies from the government, big oil and gas, and they pay the protesters to cover the other side of it and control that, make them look, insane, and they do, Yeah, Well, they've been manipulating the weather since the 70s, so man-made climate change is absolutely real. If they would stop manipulating the weather so much, we might be able to see if there's any actual climate change. But climate change is a basic, it's a feature of our planet, you know. Yeah, right now they're building a couple of CO2 emitters to put over the forests in Brazil. So they do understand the implications of burning fossil fuels. Makes forests green, you know. So they want to save the trees, save the forests, but they're chopping them down to make windmills and solar farms. They're trying to reduce the CO2 level, which is what the trees survive on. It's it's total hypocrisy, total bullshit game, you know. We've got China. Why isn't Extinction Rebellion and why isn't Greta Thunberg over there yelling at China? Let's see her go yell at Xi Jinping, right? In China, they're opening up at least. I think it's around 7 coal burning plants a week, and no emissions controls like we would have to do. So they're nice and cheap, and they can build lots of them and burn tons of coal.
They're
And what they're yeah, and what they're
don't have the collectors on them for the
yeah
and or whatnot.
yeah. So they're going to start sending us food that does have all the garbage emissions from it and isn't scrubbed up to just CO2, which would help their climate and their growth and all that. They'll still get expanded growth, but they'll also get all the dirt along with it.
Yeah. Oh, it's evil, man. It's you know what it is, Max? It's making profit and keeping profit high
Yeah.
and playing the game because it's the nature of the beast, and to continue making loans and continue handing out loans that are going to be defaulted on. Um,
Yeah, I haven't looked into what subsidies the solar panels get, but the wind farms get $600,000 to $900,000 a month. So,
yes. Uh, all the farmers here, they came to them and they said, the company, right, we will give you, subsidize because it'll be a commercial thing. But what we'll do is we'll pay you, I think it was like $20,000 or something to put one on your property because it'll pay for itself like within 15 or 20 years if you don't have any problems. There's no, like, that's what that would mean. And it's just so ridiculous, that anybody would do it. And it basically, it's a scam. It gives you some cash then, and then looked into caring for this damn thing in something that's a lease, pretty much, with the thing. Now, the extra that you generate is supposed to, off the grid, is supposed to go back off your bill, right? You know what I mean? Like it goes back into the.
Yeah, how much of it is actually usable?
Exactly.
Yeah. And then you're liable. Apparently, you're still liable for any damages that the windmill causes. If it falls and crushes your neighbor's house, you're liable. You know.
Right. I'm thinking if a blade slips off and God forbid damage, anything. I mean, like you haven't. There's got to be insurance for that, I imagine. It's like, oh, what if the blade ever slips off and kills someone? Or
well, I guess as the homeowner, you'd have to pay for insurance for it. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I would think so. Like there'd have to be a type of insurance for it that's like, what if it falls? Even it's a structure. It's very tall. Like what are the things that say if a plane hits it? What's the procedure? Like,
I don't know.
Right. But yeah, it's basically a thing where anybody who needs the money, like that evil of needing the cash, so that you take the deal. Yeah, I'll put, you guys can put one of those on my property in my field where normally there would be crops growing, but now there's going to be a wind mill.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too. It's for that immediate check that people will make that choice.
Yeah,
Sometimes,
that's the problem. A lot of times they need it, though.
yeah, that's the thing. They take advantage of the fact that the farmers need it. And
Silly party clowns. Greta was just propaganda. Yeah. Well, she didn't know that. I've been looking for the admission she made that she finally understood that big oil and gas was paid for by, that her foundation was being paid by big oil and gas.
right.
I haven't found it, but so it's just a rumor to me at the moment. But I do believe that. Well, I know that's true, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the design of the windmills that they chose is the worst design possible, with small, skinny blades that need high winds to work properly.
Yeah, they're always turning to try and face, like slowly to face where the wind's most optimal. They're supposed to, and then they're just turning slowly most of the time. Very rarely do you see them in full.
In 1972, The Limits to Growth was published by the Club of Rome. The book suggested that swift human depopulation would save the planet. In 2018, The Limits to Growth co-author Dennis Meadows explained how we need to murder billions of people.
The planet can support something like 1 billion people.
See now, 1 billion,
maybe 2 billion, depending
we can
on how much
afford a
liberty
lot more than
and how
that.
much material consumption you want to have.
I think in the past the entire
liberty
was covered,
and more consumption. Yes. You have to have fewer people
with farms everywhere. That's what it shows in South America with the LiDAR.
We could even have
Absolutely.
8 or 9 billion, probably.
As well, I believe the vegetation that you see all throughout the desert and where the Silk Road and Petra, you see the aqueducts going everywhere. And those ancient lines that we see upon the earth, the canals, they're virtually everywhere. But they're there. And the thing is, the more and more, look, it's to take water primarily because it's the one thing human beings cannot live without. So there's aquifers primarily. If you say, what's that? Or what was it possibly? Okay, not this tomb or church thing. It probably was where there was water being stored. I just have to go and take my my chickens out of the oven. 2 seconds.
That's okay. That's all right. Got another little video to share. Oh, how's you? Oh, that's an ear rape. Sorry about that. So that's Iran's new drone. It'll go 2,000 kilometers, 2,000 miles. Quite a range on it. This is intense, right? You can only bring death and destruction. Already in a huge mass extinction event. Yeah. capitalism is all about growth. That's why I believe in a free market system. Free market system offers competition and avoids monopolization. And we have monopoly laws that haven't been enforced for years. They've kind of skirted around them in ways. Nice.
Lemon chicken.
Okay.
It's Caesar salad dressing, and it's delicious,
Oh,
and
yeah.
ketchup mixed together. That's actually the stuff on Whoppers, or I mean on Big Macs. I think if that's a special sauce, I'm not sure.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's or mayonnaise
So-
and ketchup mixed together instead of one together.
So Iran has just introduced a 2,000-mile drone that it can put out there now. So it'll go 2,000 miles.
Yeah, that's
Um,
that's all the way around. Well, not that it's circuit, but I mean,
no, it's a good
No.
distance. It's like across America.
yeah.
You know, you could go across America. I think America's about 2,000 across.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, man. I could finish rolling this because it's still a bit hot.
So you know, if they could get that to Russia, or
Yes. Oh, yes,
you
man.
know.
I cannot believe that they have that capability, though. Have we seen it? They've shown the pictures of it, right, from in the drone going.
Yeah, they showed us the drone.
And it makes see that makes sense.
It looks like a
that.
typical drone, but
Yeah,
it's
so I believe that report. I believe
Yeah.
that report. When they say it can go 2,000, and the thing, and the difference is we needed one that could go another, like however, 1,000 safely, and they like, I imagine they can make them now because they have the plans. They've made it. They're like, we like this one, and now they're going to make a lot of them.
Mm-hmm. Just like they're making all those mini drones that are blowing up the tanks that the U.S. are sending over, all the personnel carriers, tanks, and all that are just getting blown up by $2,000 drones. Drone technology is like he who can pump out enough drones, right?
That's what I'm thinking. Like just what you're saying, the industrial of World War II, it was fought in the factories, really.
Yeah. And if you can produce enough drones, it doesn't matter if they can shoot them down. You could even make drones that if they shoot down, they blow up anyway.
Yeah, Attack of the Clones, Attack of the Drones.
Yeah.
Cloning the
Just
drones.
get them over top of your target, let them shoot it down, go ahead. We're here.
Exactly. Well, okay. That plane that I said they're making a toy, and it's the funnest plane that I've seen in my life, like with the remote control, and it goes in water, and it's like a boat and a plane, and it flies around accurately, and it's lightweight. It's for a Christmas toy. Like, it's a toy, except it really works. Like, it flies all the way around. Like, I imagine up to about 2 acres. You know what I mean? Like, distance away and back on square. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's like, no, it's actually 4 hectares of space it can do. Either way, I've seen it do what looks like at least, 100 meters square. That this plane can, and it's like this big, and it's got like the remote control, and it looks like it's a piece of foam, but sturdy, but it can hit stuff and not break. The guy shows like, smacking against the water and everything. So he throws it in the water, then takes the remote control, makes it go, then it goes in the water, zzz, then flies up in the air, and it can do anything. Like the most funnest, plane that you ever could imagine. It's available now.
Yeah, that's crazy. Hi, DJ. How you doing?
I'm doing good, John. How are you?
Doing good.
A while.
I'm awesome. My daughter's getting married today, so I'm waiting for a
nice.
video link or a video of it. That'll be awesome.
Cool.
Married.
So what do you think of the drones? Did you see the Iranian drones? Like, what, they go 2,000 kilometers or 2,000 miles.
Yeah, no, I didn't see that. Sorry, I just popped in. Well,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So I wanted to read this as well. Let's share this. Russia's multipolar BRICS, more countries join, Africa all in. Summit 2023, Niger Group, St. Petersburg International CEO Forum, SPIFE, New Times Forum. Let's take a look here.
Out of the top 10 oil producers on the planet, 6 of those top 10 countries are now in BRICS. This changes everything. Changes everything. So now this begs the question, why were these countries chosen? I mean, Argentina is an obvious choice, right? This is the second largest country in South America, the second largest economy in South America. And on top of that, Argentina has, besides beef, everyone likes to think it's just a beef. No, they have lithium. Lithium is crucial for batteries. You know that because they couped Morales in Libya to get his lithium. Argentina has gas, and Argentina is one of the fastest growing economies in the world. Egypt is the most populous Arab country. Okay, look at the map. Egypt has access to the Mediterranean Sea, and more importantly, not just the Red Sea, but the Suez Canal. I mean, wars have been waged over the canal. Yes, wars have been waged. This is not just some random strait or some random passage. It was very smart of them to take Egypt. Very, very smart. Now look at Ethiopia. Ethiopia has got 123 million people. Ethiopia is an obvious choice. And look where it's based, of course, in the Horn of Africa. In the Horn of Africa. Okay? Once again, strategic. These countries are huge. Argentina is huge.
Yeah.
Right?
Huge food
Egypt
producer.
is huge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ethiopia is huge. And then look at what we have next. Right here, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Iran. Saudi Arabia is the world's top oil producer, man. I told you. And on top of that, you got Iran. Iran with its gas. Do you know after Russia, Iran has the most, so the largest proven reserves of gas in the world. BRICS right now.
Yeah.
When those 6 countries
That's where the
succeed
sheiks
in
are.
January, will comprise 47% of the world population. You might as well just say half. You might as well just say half. You know,
Yep.
okay? It's a small roundup, just a tiny one. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Half of the population
Somebody
will
was there
live
for a
in
second.
BRICS countries in January. The GDP, I mean, this is madness, right? The GDP, we're talking about 30%, roughly 30% of the global economy, right? That's GDP of around 30 trillion, $30.5 trillion. Again, let's round it up a little and say 33%, 1/3 of the world economy. Oil production,
Oh, we lost Egypt.
43% coming out of these BRICS countries. The figures speak for themselves. We are talking about a block. It's a multipolar block. The multipolar world is already here, right? This is why I told you, you are witnessing history. You know, like sometimes people wish they could have a time machine and go back in time to witness history. I swear to you, this is one of the most important political events in our lifetimes. And people will look back on this day for decades to come. That this was the moment, Wall Street, that people in the city, people in those Western banks are now going, oh, shit. Oh, yes. The tables have turned.
So you watch what happens to silver, gold, and other commodities very soon. A lot of people have predicted that they're devalued on the market artificially. So if that's true, even if it's not, our dollar will be worthless in a little while. They've devalued it so much.
Right.
We're on a slow increase to our dollar being worthless. Like it's just going to happen. They've printed too much of it, and it's taking. They've slowed it down, but it's still coming. That the dollar will be worthless. You know, I don't know if it'll ever reach the point of like they did in Germany, but yeah, it's
Well,
quite a thing. It's supposed to be based on the on gold, so
the
gold and
unfortunate
silver.
thing is that the poor countries are going to be the ones picking up the slack, meaning, Max, and this is where I don't want to bow my head and thank any god that I am sitting pretty in the lottery of where I was born. I'm sitting in Canada where all the food's grown. So
Yeah.
when the whole thing falls apart, I think that I'm still in the area where I'm going to receive food. And because of that, even though like the housing sucks right now and everything and all that, but the thing is, because everybody else is going to be hit so much harder than us
Mm-hmm.
when the whole thing falls apart. And oh, they're not together. And that's the initial, oh no, the people with their fantasy game that they play is over. Then whatever the reality is of the new normal will set in. And I'm sorry, when I'm not sorry. And that's when we're going to realize how rich we are, I think, as opposed to how poor. Now, that's going to let the demons even take over more. And the people surge to try and take over the whole world. And the whatever, the end, the whole end of it. Because it's nothing that's going to embolden people. Meaning, the war is going to be something positive when the end comes, not a negative thing. And it's just something that's just started going in my head. Meaning, I think people, because the idea of people are going to want the 15-minute city. Like they're about to do something that's going to make people clamor and go, yay, we want this thing to happen. And I feel that they're probably going to succeed. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm waiting to see what's going to slowly become the thing people want and to be very wary of that or things of that type. That's where I'm not, I don't have anything to point at yet except for the things that are obvious. But the money's the one.
Yeah. Gold has value just because you believe it does. That's not true at all, Toth. Gold is used in electronics. It's used in silver is used in solar panels, electronics, many purposes for gold, silver. You can even eat them. That even has beneficial effects. So, yeah, there's plenty of uses for the shiny rocks.
Yeah. You'll find anytime that you get into a larger area with more people, that's going to be more solidified as an item that has noted value, which is why we call something a paper note. Because the note, that's a note. That's a note. Certainly is a note. You know, it just means the paper with something written on it, but it's a noted because it's a value.
Because it has value in use. That's why.
The Jews call it the kicker. And that's where we get the word kike from. Because they keep their eye on the value of the deal. And they're always staying true to that. Someone else is like, oh, I want this, we'll give you this. How come you guys won't take the deal? Because we see where the real value is. And, we can't make the deal. It's unequitable. And because they always have their eye on that, people are like, well, I can't make money with the Jews. And it's like, well, no, yeah. But you can do equitable business with us. Yeah. And people want to make money, though. You see, they don't, but their law tells them you may not do business with the Gentiles, that they make money. What you can do is you can lend them money and charge them interest, or you can make money off them. But you're not to just do business on a straight up scale where you don't charge them interest. That's in the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, people have agreed it has value. The BRICS has agreed it has value.
Yes.
So that's half the world agreeing that it has value.
Yeah, even silver.
When our dollar crashes, that'll probably still have some value. Barter is a good idea too, but it's very difficult to carry around a couple of couches to barter with.
Yeah.
Or whatever you have. Even honey. You want to trade honey? Well, okay. you're going to have a lot of it, and you're going to have to carry it around. Silver, gold is a lot easier to carry around as a unit of energy or value
Yeah.
than a couch or big jugs of honey.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so yeah, it's just an agreed upon thing. So it's already agreed upon by half the world. So
Yes.
there you go. It used to be agreed upon by our half of the world until the 70s. So
Like even like my brain's been thinking, and I'm sitting here and I'm like even the value of other base metals, like when you're sitting here and somebody's like, well, but my Fox, and it's like that Fox cost you at least a gram in lead. You shot it, didn't you? And that's when people are like, oh wait, yeah, well, I mean, okay, you can pay me in bullets. Well, I don't have bullets, buddy. The butcher over there has bullets. What I have is, oh crud. And all of a sudden you're on the wheeling and dealing train.
Right, Elderberry?
Because lead bullets are what money's going to be considered at base if you can't. You know what I'm saying, right, Max? And if people want to go and make your point really well, I was really happy when I came up with, well, little chunks of coin is going to be like lead is going to be the penny or whatever, no matter what, because it's what you feed a game with. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Coins are going to begin with, well, you got a lead coin on you?
There we go.
And it's like, well, I've got a silver coin. And well, with that, you can kill a werewolf too.
Yeah, why not, right?
No doubt. I can even prove it to you. You see Jim over there? He's a werewolf. Really? Yeah, watch. Right through the heart.
He's dead. See? Yeah, he must have been a werewolf.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. No doubt.
Yeah,
Same thing with a steak and a vampire.
So, buy yourself some resources, sure, but get yourself something to trade too.
Yes, absolutely.
I even use it. So if it works out that it becomes absolutely worthless, I'll just make it down into powder and use it on my body, and trade it to other people to use on their body.
Yeah,
because it's a great antibiotic. It's good for your blood. It's just good for you. So,
if we had a shop, I think using wood and a lathe to make arrows, repeating like arrow shoot, like really precision, arrow shooters, repeaters, right? You can use the arrows repeatedly and go pick them up. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. That would be a good item that you can hunt with. So they'd have, and so having the instructions to make those properly, and whatever the item is that they needed to use back in medieval times, that would have been the hard item. I don't know if there's a certain titanium or if not, just need good wood.
We're probably never going to get to the point where there is no food and water. That's already happened during the lockdown in Africa. So we will have shortages of food. Food will be expensive, but you will never be completely out of it.
Okay.
It's just not really going to happen. Sorry. Sorry to the Africans and the third world countries that actually some of them even grow the food, but just like the potato famine, they'll just ship out the good food, and you can have the crap that's left or nothing at all. And that's what's going to happen.
See,
they've done that again and again.
Yeah. If we were stuck with the food that we have around here, there'd be a lot going to waste, but we'd have a lot of it, as opposed to, that's what happens in rich places, right? It's like, great, we've got all this now. What can we do with it? But, it's like, it's not the worst problem to have. But yeah, we grow the stuff here.
Yeah.
So it's the other countries, man, that aren't on that green patch, or families that are in the city and don't have a green patch around them, I don't know what they're going to do in the cities. Do you, man?
I don't know. That's where I'm at. So I live around a lot of farming area, a lot of farms and stuff. I'm not.
There you go.
I shop at La Cocos down the road. which
Yeah.
is, it's called Lococos because it's got local in the
All right,
name,
the local, yeah.
right? So it's local farmers and meat producers, you know.
There you go.
So yeah, I'm not really that worried about it. There's a lot of frozen food um, storage places around me as well. So
No doubt.
there's turkeys being stored up for Christmas and Thanksgiving. There's lots of food here.
Yeah, there is here
You
too,
know.
Matt. Like, there's
Like
an-
why are people coming here from South America? South America is a fantastic place to grow food,
right.
right? So
Yes.
why are they starving? Because
I don't know.
they've been
Why
pushed
would
off their
people-
farms. They've
Sorry.
been taken off their farms, right?
Yes.
You know?
Yes. And anybody who's successful got ran off for some
Yeah.
weird reason.
So-
Like
Their
Like-
economy went to shit. They tanked their economy. Like
mhm.
they used to, like they're coming up now as a booming Argentina, and those South American countries are coming up as booming economies now,
Mhm.
and they will under BRICS, especially if they start growing again. You know, unless it's all corporate, you know, then hey, Deocean, you know, then they're
They
still
want-
going to run up here. You know,
Well, they got to keep what used to happen out, that elite or those bunch of people that would get in. And then, even if they're putting people in, have people in that are still going to actually work with the people, you know, work for the benefit of the country and
Yeah.
not all away to,
yeah, they should have rebellion in their countries.
yes.
Unfortunately, that's probably where we're headed too. I do believe getting to the point it's looking like that's the only way, because tyrants don't give up power. You can't vote them out of power. You can't ask them to leave. It's just the way it is. So we'll see what happens in Canada. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what happens in your election. Ours can be called at any time. So, like in the U.S. election, I mean, not yours.
No. I hear what you're saying too. And
Yeah.
I don't know what Castro's kid's going to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let me show you. I wanted to do this on the fires because this is what they're doing in Canada too.
I am feeding the whole town right now.
I've been ordered not to let anyone across the bridge, so you can go through CSRD and see if they'll let you through, but right now you're not allowed across the bridge.
The spot fires aren't on my property, but the 100 acres of
That's
bush.
where the liability issue comes in.
I can't get.
be out.
I also just want to know, so if I walk across right now,
You can't.
so I'm going to be arrested if I go across that bridge. So who just told me that I can walk? So I'm literally cannot get over there. Why are we wasting these resources right now on this? This is.
That's just the way it is.
What a perfect response. That's just the way it is.
Okay, what
What a fucking asshole.
So you were instructed to stop everyone who comes across this bridge.
Correct.
And so for what reason?
Yeah.
It's given an order and I'm following that order.
Okay, what is the order
It's what the
exactly?
Nazi soldiers
Not letting
said.
anyone across the bridge.
All of the bush that behind, where if there is a fire that happens and it comes straight to my place, like you don't understand. Like, yeah, save your house, but when that bush is behind, and I can run out there with a shovel and buckets of water and put out 30 spot fires in a day, when
And
I
save
leave my
that old
property,
lady's
I
house
can save
that
10
she's
people's
gonna burn
houses.
down.
And possibly be in the way of wildfire
I don't-
or other firefighting.
Oh my God.
There is nobody out here
There's
besides us.
nobody-
They're saying there's nobody out here besides us. There's no
Yeah, there's no
other
Yeah.
firefighters.
Nobody there
doing
except for
it.
those
Let us do
Masons
it.
there who were told, do this. Yep.
Yep. Keep the people out. Don't let them go and save their houses. We're not sending in any fire crews. We're not doing anything but letting the wildfires go.
Yeah.
And no, you can't go save your house. Sorry.
Yeah.
And they probably shut off the water too, anyways.
Yeah.
You know.
Because it lets you know what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like it's not hidden. It reveals
The other day,
in the
I
method,
was
what
talking
they're
to the
doing is
they
revealed
chatted,
in their
"Anybody
methods.
wanna make a
Yes.
laser?"
Well, somebody was mentioning blue hats yesterday, and
I've seen
I wanted
lasers.
to
I've seen
show
like
this.
on what's it called? One of those group purchasing websites where they have trinkets and toys and things like that. And it was somebody shooting balloons with a laser from across a room, and they had like multiple balloons, and it was like pop, 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 and they're like, get your own, laser, blah, 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 blah. And so I was like, I'm pretty sure you can make a laser or get a laser. I wanted to test this theory of the blue things not burning. And somebody correctly pointed out that you could change the wave frequency of the laser to burn blue things if you wanted to change the frequency of the laser. I guess I believe that that's probably true. You
It's
could,
a
I
frequency
absolutely
wave, and they have the frequency of
there's
blue,
no
my
nature
friend.
here. There are two plastic lids and a laser in a garage, and the laser is shooting the blue plastic lid, and the blue plastic lid does not burn, but the green plastic lid burns. So we're going to go through that. So
Yeah,
it's plausible
how
to me
light
that you can change the calibration of the laser somehow, just like in
Obviously.
Star Trek, to make sure you have a couple more shots.
yeah. I just wanted to finish that one up. But yeah, the police stopping people from going in is ridiculous. There's nobody there, nobody to help. Maui, they
It's
turned
like-
off the water.
Yes, because it's a god that has to be respected.
The people of the island have considered, not using water to fight fires, because it's our god, and we must respect our god. Yeah, I'm sure that the town got together, in town hall meetings, and said, yeah, we shouldn't be drinking the water. We shouldn't be using it to put out fires that'll kill all the animals and us. And no, it's a good thing. Yeah.
The noble water to put out these fires, which is also noble and a god as well. And we do not want to anger the god of fire if he has chosen to honor our noble island with his Masonic presence. I mean, Lucifer, noble and holy, is the light bringer and the one who brings the fire with Hermes, Thrismages.
It does take a lot of energy to create a laser that can damage something. But
they
who knows what kind of power sources they have,
They have the money.
And if you're in space, there's a lot of free electrons floating around up there that you can gather. A lot of energy. Probably popping balloons.
Are you calling Hermes Tristan? I'm telling you that's cold.
Yeah. I call him like I see him.
Good to see you, D. How you doing?
Hey, what's up? It's a directed energy weapon, of course it is. Say it softly so that we don't get blocked.
Yeah.
That's
I don't think they use those on Maui. I don't think they use those on Maui. I think they Maui was done with weather manipulation and leaving the power on. They didn't need to use a laser for that. But they're checking out their capabilities. That's why I was showing those videos earlier of the lasers coming down on the Pacific Islands there. I'm not sure if that was Maui or if it was the Big Island or what. But they're Chinese lasers. The Chinese have admitted that they have new methods of making a sustained laser. So lasers, they're real.
Yep. From the go-round or orbit or whatever of outside the whatever.
Sure, or from a plane or a balloon or, any type of a device.
Yeah.
Any type of a device you can put up in the sky or, they've got them on ships, I was watching a video on the lasers they use on ships to take out missiles and stuff and drones.
The aircraft carriers have them installed now. The lasers, I watched them install them. They were like, these are our laser cannons.
Yeah.
Whoa. This could blow a hole through a 6-inch cement wall like in a second.
Yeah, they're just innocuous looking things, but deadly.
Oh yeah.
Directed energy weapons.
It's like they said, this aircraft carrier can neutralize a country. And they said like I think 30 minutes. and and they list off how many percentages of them all, right? And
Yeah.
I think it had 93 Tomahawk or whatever these vehicles on it, right? They would all lift off from the carrier to subdue it. That's what they are. They're to stop a country all at once. And it's like, wow.
Yeah. Well, if you can't attack them, right, then they have total supremacy and dominance over you. You know.
Yes. And they have 6 of these things, of these aircraft carriers, 6 in the fleet. It's crazy.
So
that's crazy. It can stay for I forget how many years.
Oh, I heard I think it was 7 or 12. It was some ridiculous number, like that they have food, energy, everything to do for years and years out there.
Years.
Yeah.
The fuel was the thing that got me. I was like, they have the fuel. It's going.
Oh yeah, they just created a drone that doesn't need fuel; it refuels itself. So it's a different type.
Supposedly,
there was the biomass one before. What's that, D?
yeah, supposedly
they're running on bio.
Somebody was whistleblowing on something they have, of course, in Antarctica that was supposed to be built to monitor neutrinos.
Oh yeah.
But actually can be used as a weapon and could hit anywhere on the earth. And this is from somebody who worked there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was an engineer. I saw that.
Engineer, yeah.
And he had access to the whole place. He couldn't figure out what they were powering it with, but he figured they had an extra power system.
Start a fire.
Yeah. They can send, I can't remember the number. It was a 200 kilowatts or I don't know, some ridiculous number of watts into the earth.
Yeah.
And with that array, they can direct it wherever they want.
Right.
The regular fires don't melt metal.
That's how they make the earthquakes, with waving them like that, and that's how they burn that stuff too. A lot of it, they can go under the earth now with it. Shoot it right up in the bottom of the tree.
Some of the cars will burn if they're aluminum. The tires will burn, like the rims.
Yeah,
aluminum does burn, but if they're making a lot of cars now out of aluminum for lightweight, right?
Yeah.
Properties.
Won't turn them into a puddle of metal.
Oh yeah. Aluminum will burn actually down to almost nothing. That's why they use aluminum. And you put aluminum and plastic together, and you can use the aluminum to ignite the plastic.
See, the suspicious thing is when they're right next to a tree that's still there.
Yeah.
You don't
aluminum and plastic together, you can send a frequency at it and it'll ignite. That's why all our cars are made out of aluminum and plastic.
Wow.
Yeah, let's face it, we're not dealing with normal weapons. We're not dealing with normal anything. By the way, just letting you know, somebody who's a tarot reader who's checking into things, and a crystal ball reader, she's saying the next pandemic, time for the next pandemic this fall, probably going to affect the skin. The other thing about it is she sees water being poisoned in big cities.
Mm-hmm.
And that will give people a lot of weird symptoms to make them think they've got this disease.
Okay.
So we need to get water purification at all costs.
Yeah.
And so she is seeing more weather BS. we're going to have to work on the weather overtime.
Yeah,
Um,
change that. Yeah, somewhat.
So just so you're prepared for that.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it more on my show tonight, but yeah, I just want everybody to be informed that we got more. They're probably going to pull out all the stops because they're losing,
Yeah, they're at
and
the
they
end.
know they're losing.
Yeah, this fall we were talking about that yesterday. It's going to be a hellish fall. That we looked into this September
This
last night,
fall, they're
and
going to fall.
yeah, we looked into September last night, and keeping your inner peace is going to be the key to making it through it. It's going to be probably hellish, but all points were pointing to the inner self. Take care of yourself, and you'll make it through it.
That was the signal today. It was like, really take care of yourself and like go ahead and get my health up and everything. And I was like, but it makes me giddy. And it was go ahead because, and then I was like, my heart's in the right place. I've taken the time to center my now, and I'm not beating the wrong wolf. And
Oh, of course, we could overthrow him.
storing up power, I guess. I'm storing up
We
power for
will,
what,
in fact.
And joy, because I feel that looking at it and saying it is what it is, and then laughing at it for the truth, beauty that it is, and then I take that and the light that it gives me through the looking glass, and I send it back to it and say, this is what I see, and this is my perspective, and it can't be destroyed. And that's what I'm working with. It's like a prism. It reaches and it can't get at me because it never solidifies. It would have to solidify power.
Your voice is chopping out on us.
Oh shoot. Yeah, like they have to stay a board member. They have to jump from company to company, and they have to hide themselves in BlackRock and this and that. Because if they take form, we can kill it. And I take comfort in that.
Okay.
But they're trying right now. They're manifesting in every way they can.
Okay.
And their spells are out there. But they were in my parents' time too, man.
Oh, yeah, it's not new. They're just got better toys now.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing. It's all the same. Light manipulation, matter and light. Manipulate it. And like, I can only imagine how many times they've made an iPhone and tried to addict all the kids in whatever kingdom to it, and then sent out their toys, and like then the toy comes alive, and like, and takes over because it does the housework, it does the this, it does the that, and then our army will go out once our magic monkey has taken over the whole world, and it's like, and it really is just an army. Monkey butler machines that are really crafty that the craftsman made. And that's what I think the old world used to even be. And you could buy a bunch of monkey butlers for your home and live like a king, but you look like a silly child because they're a child's toy. And that's how we keep it in the kingdom, because we want to remember the folly that we never let the monkey become king again. Child's toy, but we won't fear it, so we keep it around in its little monkey cage. I'm practicing my spells.
Okay.
I tell the stories, I try to put it to music on the fire, and it works, and the children dream their dreams after I speak and sing. I am the bard.
Well, they're all psyops.
Yeah. It all is. It all is.
It's true. Everything's a psyop now.
Everything.
Everything and everyone, it seems.
Like, And then the next
But
layer
it's
of the onion would
funny
be
because now they're calling Trump the gangster president.
oh, because he made the angry face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got $7 million in donations since his indictment and his picture.
It's a very angry face.
Yeah. Oh, he's more popular than ever now. He just gets more popular every time they do this stuff they have. He gets
I
more
know.
popular and
It's
more
ridiculous.
popular with every disenfranchised group that feels they've been done wrong. Now he's got the ghetto.
All right, see you, Doth.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Now he's got everybody behind him. Everybody, all the poor people. And there's more poor people than there are rich people. So,
Yeah, when you get to
So
one side, as everybody bet. No, we got to get all the. Oh, all right, everybody on the other side bet the other way. All right, now we go in.
we are
Yeah.
living in surreal times, let me
So if
tell
they're
you.
following biblical prophecy, is this the false Christ, the one that everyone gets behind,
And there are many.
deceives the world?
There are many, remember.
Yeah,
Over there
there
and
are
over
many.
there.
Yeah.
And in the inner rooms. Don't forget. Well, that's all the warning with the Mormons and the other thing. Oh, come in the inner room. Oh, you're going to come in the inner room. Oh, we're in the inner room.
There's also the prophecy that Trump will be the last president.
Yes, there's that.
Is that, I don't know if that's going to happen.
That it's a real one. It could come true just because it's said so much. But yeah, the last president, the next term coming up.
I'll be back.
Still no mugshot of Hillary. No.
Said the governor of California.
He's Crowley. Oh, we lost D.
I'll be back.
Oh, Jesuit Trump.
I mean, yes, I know. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That was like I knew about Jesuits now a long time ago, meaning that's one of the things that I've had in my mind since I was a child, really. And if you mean, what do you mean? Well, since I was 12, I've known of the order of the Jesuits having completely sworn and understanding that they're actually out there and that they're more effective than soldiers because they're not out there in trenches hitting somebody with a grenade. They're out there taking over companies and throwing the men to the wind. I think they work that. Like, you know what I mean? That's more kind of like their job. They're kind of like
Talk more into your microphone.
they're more like company lawyers. More like company lawyers. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're more like company lawyers. These people, they sue companies, and if they can, they'll buy them and they'll take them over and they'll break them apart and they'll sell the pieces. It's what Richard Gere did in Pretty Woman. It's just that that's a regular thing that people do. They liquidate a company once they buy its assets. Like they liquidate it for its assets once they buy. It's like buying a car to scrap it, you know? And there's a market for that. There's a scrapper for companies, old companies.
Well, yeah, that's how you make monopolies, right?
Thank you.
You can't have all that competition, you know, if you're trying to build a monopoly. And that's people don't realize that they've skirted around the monopoly laws and colluded together to basically make it a monopoly anyways. They just call it 5 different companies and say, no, it's not a monopoly. Look, there's 5 different companies. They're all controlled by the same people who get together and, you know, collude to control it.
Yes.
And, that's not free
and
market
it's
capitalism.
a paper moon. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's only a paper, whatever they want, whatever it is they say that they're not doing, because it's the common sense that children can understand. Hey, you guys are stealing, or the way that you guys aren't right. That could be explained to us of why the way that we have our economy, it's not fair, or where there's an equity, it's easy to be seen. You know, like, and that's the other thing. It's like, how are these people stealing? And it's like, hey, it's, you know, it's
So
easy.
many ways, right? You know,
Yeah.
in so many ways, subsidies, you know,
Yes.
control of the markets,
Yes.
monopolies, you know, collusion, pretty much open
Yeah.
collusion, you know.
Stopping the
There's
product
absolutely,
price from coming down,
you
stopping
look at,
certain people. Yep, go ahead. Yeah.
you look at the places where there's absolutely no competition. Cars, light bulbs, you know, bread. No, there's no competition there.
None.
You know.
And that's what it takes to bring prices down and to bring quality up.
Yeah.
It's competition. It's
Yeah.
a known thing. Like, that's the thing, kids, or whoever, anybody. It's competition breeds quality. Competition breeds competitive prices.
Connected to Elvis, who had a twin. Trump's connected to Elvis. Okay. Yeah, there was the other Aaron Elvis Presley, or the other one. I don't know. I forget what his name was.
Imagine
We already had our last president. Yeah, this is an illegitimate president. We do know that. Even the cases that have come out, like from Georgia and other states, show that they proved there was tampering and that the election was fraudulent.
Yes.
But still, nothing's being done about it, right?
No,
Right? Nothing.
They've seen the forms, hundreds of them. They know that there was tampering in the election now.
Yeah.
Actual votes that weren't. That were
Hundreds of
fraudulent.
thousands, not like any small amount as well. You know.
And everybody noticing that the laws are only applying to the Republican side. Not that I'm taking either side, but even in the dichotomy that does exist, the one side can do every crime and accuse the other side of doing it. And like, even the show that they're putting in front of people, the people should have said no. You know what I mean? Like, just, we're not doing this again. Oh, like when the news comes out, oh, blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, I'm not. Meaning, I don't even want to hear it to know what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wanted to comment on the California wildfires as well, that they also, the houses and cars burnt up there seemingly without harming many of the trees. And
yes, in paradise.
Although this is a conspiracy, it's a conspiracy. You can't ignite these things. Like, all the electronics in your house have metals and plastics together, and a lot of aluminum.
Yeah.
Majority of metals used in electronics is aluminum, lightweight and flammable. So,
yeah, absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
So, you know, people dying right in their cars seems ridiculous as well. If you've made it to your car, you know, you should be able to plow through smoke or whatever. You know, they weren't crashed cars. They were just cars just sitting there.
Yes.
And that even brought into it the idea of, what about OnStar? Are these cars just being locked and stopped right there?
Yes.
Why would anybody just sit in the middle of the road in their car burning to death? You know? There's a lot about it that doesn't make sense. You know,
it's like, or like the tire. Oh, we sense a heat that is dangerous. The car is shutting down.
Yeah. Battery overheated, car shutting down.
Yep.
Yeah. But a lot of those were petroleum cars, gas cars in Florida. I don't think there were that many electrics. So I think that was like the OnStar solution.
I've been in the car when that's worked, so that, like, when that happened, so that's perfectly understandable how they can just shut them down.
Yeah.
How easy it is.
We also have, there was that one, I can't remember her name, but it appeared she was driving down a road at 200 kilometers an hour and drove straight into a house. people believe that she may have had her car taken over as well. At least she was involved with that Hollywood shooting with what was that guy who shot his one of his co-workers? I can't remember his name.
Baldwin.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. Alec.
I think she worked with him.
Yes.
And,
oh.
But yeah, plastic and aluminum together will ignite with a frequency. No, not Morgan. Alex. Bush Jr. was illegitimate too. Illegitimate son, or was he just a illegitimate president? And was that when Al Gore won?
Right, the
and they just overturned the popular vote.
Yes.
Right, because Al Gore did win that election, didn't he?
That's right. I used to pay attention back then. I think there was a little bit of time there when I was like 12, 13, 14, right?
Yeah.
Paying attention to politics for some reason in America.
Yeah, I think he's a major player in
New World Order, like the WHO.
Yeah.
Or the
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I thought he was way back when he was just too slick in my mind.
Well, that movie that got in the theaters and then his tour, he was put out there like a rock star, and we're talking about the vice president here, people. Like he's really actually just a nerdy like church geek. I don't care what he does in his personal life, but I mean, he's always going to put out that persona. He's a weird church deacon guy, like at your softball game, you know. Yeah.
He looked fake to me right from the get go.
Thank you.
Just a suit, you know.
Yes, absolutely. Like as if you take him out to say, "Hey, can you like dance?"
I know.
And they're like, "No, I can't dance." And it's like, right.
Oh yeah, I wanted to show this. Oh, thank you guys. Now there's somebody drilling. I hope you guys can't hear that. There's somebody drilling down below me. Where is it? There we are.
New Zealand today is the same reason why Rebel News is in Australia. It really shows the difference one person can make. And I'm talking about one of my favorite reporters I've ever met, Avi Yamini, who's our chief Australian correspondent. I call him a one-man army because he really is. Avi, it's great to see you.
Good to see you, mate. I appreciate it. Very kind.
Well, it's true. And I think it's a combination of charisma and confidence, a self-deprecating sense of humor, on your feet, and you love the action. You got a nose for news, and you've really built Rebel News up in Australia. And now we're invading North Korea or New Zealand. It's sort of fun.
It is. Listen, I'm loving it, and I think the people, the way they're taking it in New Zealand, they need this. They need this in New Zealand more than anywhere on the planet, more than Australia, I think, because you see how far New Zealand went even in COVID, and some of the legislation and the laws that are here are so far ahead than all of us, even in Australia. And
I remember when Jacinda Ardern, who just finished her term as the Prime Minister, she actually said at a real press conference, this is not an accident. She didn't retract it later. She said, "Trust us for all the news. We'll be your sole source of truth." Here, watch her say in her own words, "This is real."
Defenders must prepare, but do not panic. Prepare. And when you see those messages, remember that unless you hear it from us, it is not the truth. And I really ask people, just visit covid19.govt.nz. It has all of the up. We will continue to provide everything you need to know.
The fact that the rest of the media, the rest of the establishment, the rest of the society said, okay, is terrifying. And, she's no longer PM, but she's gone on to, I think she's at Harvard now, heading up a global censorship project.
That's exactly it. She, like I said, they try and test everything in New Zealand. So of course they want the person who successfully did it here. Remember, she's the one. It's her office that banned me for coming for the propensity to incite people with opposing views. And I feel like I'm actually kicking myself that the book, the front cover, I should have it. You know, they say about me because, gosh, I wear that as with pride. I have a propensity of inciting people with opposing views, but they say that they said that the government here, the Jacinda Ardern government at the time, said that as if that's a bad thing.
You know, I mean, New Zealand is part of the Commonwealth, and it has the traditions of free speech and debate and civil society. I mean, it's a wonderful. I've never been here before. It's lovely people, lovely,
you know,
and
and
I
that's
don't
a
know
man.
why. Maybe because it's small, so
That's a
it's not
man,
as
right?
noticed. But it
That's a
really
man.
became. I mean, obviously, it's nowhere
Horse.
near North Korea, but boy, are the trends going. They wanted the unanimity of thought. They were afraid that if you came there, you would light a bunch of, your candle would light a bunch of candles. And there are some other citizen journalists in this country, but they don't have as much oomph as you have or as in Canada. And, you know, maybe New Zealand doesn't matter. It's 5 million people. It's off the beaten path. But it matters for the people who live. It's a laboratory for bad ideas that are spread around the world. I care about New Zealand. I hope we can do something about it.
I'd argue that it matters for all of us because everything that happens here comes to, firstly, Australia or next door, and it affects. It's a domino effect. It affects all of us, and I think that they need it. They need it for them as much as we need it for us. For New Zealand to really bring the battleground here.
So yeah, she's going to Harvard and starting a worldwide campaign for censorship. This is terrible. Oh, thank you, Gigi. May things go as planned and they have the best day of their lives. I hope so too, Gigi.
Mm-hmm.
So here comes the next censorship push.
I heard about that. I mean, they're always doing one, but
yeah,
this next one.
Yeah, it's about getting ahead of the them doing anything, and that seems to be the method of stopping it is knowledge. People are, you know, so if we get the knowledge out there that they're pushing towards this type of thing and who's heading it up, we can call it out for what it is, instead of what they're going to push it as. And when it comes out, people will be aware. That's what's happening right now, real time for us, especially with, like, we saw the example of the masking. We have to keep that type of a momentum going.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, and like with the time of year it is and everything, for people, like, you know, and businesses like not, oh, they're doing good. No, but just the fact that it's almost like living again. Not like again, but you know what I'm saying. It's like even people that are like wounded, they're not getting, like, we're still being hit, but it's just, it's summer, nearing the end of summer, and they wanted to try and come in and go, let's just give them another round of this. And it's like every single person that used to be on the fence about it before and then kind of went along and got screwed should now be done with that. Meaning we're not doing it. We're like, it didn't work. It wasn't in the first place. This was just an economic thing. We're not going along with it, knowing that if everybody else won't, because anybody that took it to the courts, it got shot down anyway. So understanding that now, they can say to each other, just say no.
Yeah.
Or tell them to write the damn ticket, and then we're still setting up tomorrow again. Tell them to come back up and show up and write the damn ticket again. Because all the other six of us are going to open up too. So they're going to have to come to our shop and shut us down. And then you guys can reopen on that day. You get what I'm saying, right, Max? Because of that, and like you just said, with competition. So when there are six people that can all say, hey, since we still all have the machine or whatever, or the personnel or the people that still do the thing, let's open up the place where we do it. Or, you know, and that's really the thing, like where I sit back and I think I try to find myself worth in the fact that I have skill. You know, like I play my guitar, you know, but not only
Stay
that,
close to your microphone.
yeah, not only do I like play guitar, but I know how to wash dishes. You know, I know how to do carpentry. I weld. I do things that are worth a lot more. But that's the thing. When things actually got tighter, all of a sudden, when people are like, "Okay, is anybody can any of us skilled at this? Because we need about like a couple more thousand of these. We only have 3." It all of a sudden becomes real important that you're one of those 3 people.
Yeah.
And like and that's the thing, you know. I got skills. I can play guitar and I can do other things. But yeah,
skills are tradable commodities. You know?
yes, exactly.
So that's good. Yeah. So any skills you guys have, you can always use those. I know many of you probably have plenty. So.
Being able to speak, like, you know, even though it's Canada, people should be able to speak a bit of French, man. You know, like, that's a benefit to being able to deal with everybody. Being able to communicate in general, if the other people don't speak your language, but being able to just speak with the hand signs and then nods and things going. Wow. And then just because you should have the goods there. You know, it's like this much gold, this much silver, this much nickel, you know, and this much very coveted what they call what is that stuff? They like, it's not quartz. It might be quartz, but they need it for the this is some of those finer
Talk into your microphone. Can't hear you.
for some of those finer metals for their electronics, right?
Yeah.
Or to make computers.
Here's some interesting stuff that, I think having food, having, you know, tradable metals, tradable commodities is a good idea. Get your food first, though.
Yeah.
You know,
good food, like, you know, stores.
Yeah. Store up on your pot, your booze, whatever libation you have, you know. I don't think that'll ever be completely gone, but, you know, it'll get expensive. That's the problem.
Right. And you want to be able to cut out that middleman as much as you can. Exactly.
Yeah. So anything you use a lot of, try and get a lot of. You know? Like I use a lot of honey, so I bought a lot of honey and a lot of flour.
Yes.
You know, nuts. I bought a lot of nuts because those are getting ridiculously expensive at the moment. So most of the things you do buy that you really like seem to be the things that are going to get more expensive.
I was just, you know, buying that the other day, like, because sometimes stuff will go on sale, right?
Yeah.
Well, obviously it does, and like, you
know,
in Chatham they used to have a store. I mean, it's actually I think a chain, but Food for Less, and they get all the crates and stuff like that of all the, you know, food and things like that that was still good. It would always wind up there at the Food for Less. Any day of the week you could go in there and get whatever the deal is, you know, and they had a lot of them, if not sometimes 5 or 6 things, meaning like, you know, like really good chicken and steaks and stuff like that.
Bulk items, or you can buy a lot of them.
Yeah. And it'd be wild. They still have like chocolate milk and stuff in the freezers, and it was really a quarter of the price, like in general, like, if not more. And I really like shopping there, but then it couldn't stay during COVID, obviously. Well, not obviously, but I'm just saying, right? It didn't make it in Chatham. It just wasn't.
It wasn't one of the big box chains, so they shut them down. Yeah.
Yes, man. Wow. Like,
Yeah, totally planned. Like, what a scam. There were people, like you say, there were people that fought it. And what is it worth, right? They're going to shut you down for a year. You're going to go completely out of business.
yeah.
Or you challenge it in court and stay open, make money, and have to pay, a few thousand in lawyers' fees. It's going to be a lot cheaper for you to stay open. And hopefully
Yes.
people realize that too.
Yes. Way cheaper to just stay open.
Well, yeah, you'll keep your business,
Exactly.
And we've gotten rid of at least 20% of the small businesses in Canada.
Yes.
Even some of the chains are having trouble because they were affected by the lockdown as well.
Yes. Yes. You can, like, it's unbelievable, the devastation to the economy and the market. Which was the point. So it's like, good on them. Congratulations.
Yeah. Like there's Blue Notes, not a major company, but a big company.
Yep.
They've shut down 2 of their 3 locations in my city.
Yep. Now, I'm not sure what the parent company is of Blue Notes, but probably something like Foot Locker or something like that. Like,
could be. Yeah, I don't know if it's I think it is a pretty big company. Let's see if we can find out.
Yes, please. Max, I feel as though I've chemically come out of a depression. I don't know how long I've been. I don't know if that makes sense.
Talk into your microphone.
Oh, like I feel like I've chemically or whatever come out of a depression that I don't know how long I've been in. It feels like it has some elements from back from when. Oh, I see what's working. When I was a child, along with a whole part of my brain that remembers not just when I was a child, but probably when I was like 13 and 14, like it's coming in again, like in my brain. There was like areas where there was trauma around, like trauma. Except then there were moments of, I want to say, waking dreams, like where life seems like it was a movie. And I'm learning things, meaning I really looked at each day that as if I had gotten taken to what you'd be considered like Necronomicon, like half dead, the other side. And I could either become a monster or I could try and fight against that. And then I realized, hey, everybody's really fighting against this. It's just some people find out earlier, some people find out later. And, so, but I made it, you know what I mean? Meaning I found other people that were friends. I did a lot of drugs.
Yeah.
And I put in I think a trauma break in my brain, and then I kept going.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel that, like, even lately, as I've kind of like given, like, I've just been like giving up, like kind of like all of my anger, not caring where it's from, just wanting it gone. I don't like the disruption, and I feel that things are going to get much more serious. So I want to make sure that I'm just grounded in peace, especially in myself.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, I've been gaining back a peace of mind or greater peace of mind that I've had at times. And some people might say, well, just claim, just claim your peace. And it's like, it's different than that. There's a certain steadiness or a peace that I would say there's a chemical tangibility to it, result in my being. And I say to myself, is it because like the end is near? You know what I mean? Like, is it just a little calm before, like, a storm. And I'm like, well, I think it kind of is a calm before a storm, but I really think it's just the benefit of the spiritual preparation, that I'm doing to be in a better spot in the first place for whatever it is that we're facing. And there's no reason for me to hold on to hate and anger any longer as a defense when I found something better, which is knowledge. Really, and then forgiveness. You know what I mean? Like looking at it as a power when I know that if I only did the work, I don't have to worry about, oh, I hope I get a lucky shot. And it's like, if you just practice, you know what I mean? You don't worry about that lucky shot anymore. Because sometimes I think that when I was younger, I could mistake spirituality for, oh, I'll just do that thing when I really I'll try extra hard. And it's like, no, you need to be practiced so that you can do it when you need to, And so it's not exactly, Max. And it all comes down to, I guess, personal responsibility, which I guess it's whatever you want it to be. Some people it's either hell or heaven, and it's like getting the sentence of, oh, you get a job forever, ah ha 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 ha, and it's like, well, that doesn't bother me, and what? But you're gonna labor forever, ha ha. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome to heaven then. And it's like, so it's your own perspective, eh? And it's like, I guess so. And really, that's what I'm trying to tell people. And I think God might be with the Bible too. He's trying to tell you that it's your own perspective or it's your choice. Those things are very close, by the way, your own perspective and whether it's your choice of where you are. The final battle, C.S. Lewis, the whole entire Narnia series, he wraps up with that. You either are going to see the banquet that you are at, or you are not. And you are going to say, it's just a table with rotten food on it. What are you doing, happy and giddy and making merry? And you can tell the person over and over again, would you just look? And they can't see it.
Yeah.
And I accept, as opposed to continue to do some kind of a dance to pretend that they're anything but sick and diseased when they call me diseased and blind because I don't see that there is no banquet before me. They know you guys are the ones who don't see. And I accept that. I don't want to fight over it either. And it's like, really do, though. Because they want you to foul in the fight, okay? Because if you're like, I'm not mad at you either. I'm gonna go with my friends, and you're welcome to come. No, I'm not welcome to come. You're black and I'm white. It's like, no, we're just people, man. We're just sensitive people.
Here's an interesting thing from Canada. Oh, I have to. Oh crap! I have to change the volume level. I don't know if I can do that. Let's see. So my daughter in grade 2 can change her name and her gender, not just without my consent, but most importantly, without even me knowing.
No way.
The school would literally deceive me as a parent should I ask to know what's going on. The province of New Brunswick has penned a law that parental rights to gender assignment and gender changes must include the parent. And here's Pierre Poilievre saying Justin Trudeau should butt out and let the provinces decide and the parents decide. It's not the government's decision, it's the province and the parents. They're in charge of education, and the provinces are in charge of education, not the federal government.
Yep.
And the parents
Yep.
are in charge of it. And they've passed laws in New Brunswick to engender those laws and put the power back in the parents' hands, which is really awesome.
Yes.
And Justin is fighting it.
Yeah,
Justin
of course.
Castro is, of course, fighting it.
Yes. Yes. Like a little Florida. They're
Yeah.
not willing to take it.
So yeah, we've got that's happening in one province. Hopefully, there's a couple of other provinces that will hopefully follow suit, like Alberta, Saskatchewan, the middle of the country provinces will probably follow suit.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. The ignored maritime, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, normally they have to do a song and a dance before Ottawa will even look their way and put their head from the east. You know.
Yeah, the eastern provinces don't really exist in Trudeau's world. It's just BC and Ontario.
Yeah.
Quebec's kind of a pain in the ass, so it exists. It exists for money, so it's good for that.
Yes. Yeah.
But out in Alberta, the premier there is saying that her policy will now be to export products and energy and fuel and screw your climate bullshit, basically.
Well, he just wants to ring the bell and get money for tax.
Yeah.
How's he getting that money? Taxing, right? So he just wants to ring a bell. More money, Alberta, more money. You know, go down to the oil sands and go scrape me up some more oil money.
Yeah, well, we're getting carbon tax now. That's how he's getting his money.
Exactly.
He keeps raising the carbon tax on everything.
Yeah, which
people are
means if you
getting
use
pretty upset about that. So hopefully we'll like there's a lot of talk in Parliament about that as well. How the like Poilievre's pointing out, how is this carbon tax fixing anything? The climate's getting worse and you haven't fixed anything. So I don't see how you're taxing the people is going to be doing that, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Let the ends at least justify the means, but it doesn't. It's not like it's specific regulations on it. No, more money. You know, more money. Money doesn't solve anything, actually. It's a means to an end.
Oh, awesome, Mark. Get more grounding. You need more grounding, buddy. And some protection. Get some shirts, some lambs. Yeah, I'll put the link in there for it.
Oh, the government telling people what they can drink. Well, I remember that when they were telling people that. And it was illegal. I remember it because we were going on vacation, and it came on the radio that if you drink like more than 5 drinks in an hour, well, you're legally like you intoxicated yourself or whatever, right? Like, and you can be arrested or some bullshit, you know. I was like, how are they going to know how many? Like, I was like, I can understand them understanding like by taking your alcohol, like by a breathalyzer, what your blood alcohol level is, but not how much you specifically drank.
Yeah, I don't know how they do that. I don't know if that's a hoax or not. Oh, nice. Yeah, there you go, Mark. Believe me, I know what pain I can imagine what your pain is like. Like I'm figuring out a way. This is a small 12-volt battery. I'm trying to figure out a way to get it onto my wristband here and get the negative pole attached so I can get more grounding because the winter's coming and they're really ramping up the energy levels. And what it affects is my teeth first. I feel it in my teeth.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Mark's having problems with it too. So trying to trade some hints and tricks. I use one with a 9-volt battery on it right now. It's very cumbersome, but it really works really well.
Right on.
Yeah.
Like what you have works, you know.
Yeah, I used to have nights where my teeth were aching so bad I couldn't even sleep. I'd just stay up all night.
Yes.
Pretty much, just sitting there rocking in a chair.
Yeah.
Wishing the pain away, but it never stopped. So, yeah, I made, started making things like this. It's a 9-volt battery. It's pretty cumbersome. The 12-volt battery won't last as long, but it won't be, this is pretty big on your wrist, Targeting my head, literally vibrating it. Yeah. Yep. That's terrible. Hi, Karen Lynn. Smooches back.
I lived with pain that was so bad for so many years. Then I got out of it. And since then, I mean.
Did you move or something?
No, I told myself to take the meds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just to go ahead and take the meds, and they were available, and so I did. And now their idea was a lot more meds than my idea, by the way. Okay.
Yeah.
It would be 10 times less. And then, to be honest, I could have a whole life of fantasy of woo, 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 and never even do as much as they frigging suggest.
Yeah.
And that's sometimes the one thing that I found when I was younger too, and I noticed about the government or anything that they suggested, I was like, whoa, this is way too much. Or whatever it was that they'd suggest of stuff, I'd be like, whoa, this is crazy. And I'd think to myself, these people aren't about seeing that you get good emotional response from your trip or your whatever they're giving you. They just want to kill the thing. Like they just want to end something. And that's all that they do. They go and they kill something, or they give you antibiotics.
Yeah.
And they don't actually give you any life. None.
Meditate like crazy. Yeah. Yeah, keep your teeth clean. Yeah, I found that does help. Weed in both, of course. Oh, we got some weed cookies going. Some Toll House cookies, I think, was it? Yeah, that'll help, Mark. Get yourself some cookies. Some medicated cookies.
Mm-hmm. Yummy. I'm happy because of my chicken. I see that's the thing. Because I don't want to jinx it, but because I don't take a lot of everything, like I'm not facing a diabetic problem. Like I can go out if I wanted and buy a tub of ice cream, like right now. And someone might go, how could you not? And it's because I could enjoy that ice cream, maybe even more than the other person who wouldn't be able to help themselves, But they're, but
yeah.
It's that I don't. That gives me the power to have whatever I want, whenever I want.
Yeah. I couldn't eat, I couldn't eat ice cream now. I can eat a bit of it, but not a lot. Like I couldn't eat a tub of ice cream. I can eat a regular amount. And sometimes I do. Every couple of, I suppose, I don't know, a couple times a year I'll have some ice cream, but I really don't.
That's me now.
Yeah. I do know there are people that have ice cream every day, and, sugar is just not good for you. Having sugar every day, large amounts, not good for you. Canada Food Guide is claiming 10 grams is what you should be having. Really, it's almost zero because it's a poison. It's I constantly say this. It took a lot of money to get it passed as a food because it's so toxic. You know. So hopefully you used a natural sugar of some sort in your cookies.
Well, I see sugar as is like a drug. Okay, okay, exactly what it is. Just think about your sugar. No, I understand when they put it in different things, you don't see it. So just try and visualize the amount of sugar that you eat if you can. Now, I don't know if everybody can visualize approximately how much, and I'm equating it to the white sugar that's in everybody's head of what sugar is. Now, I know that every other kind of sugar is better, but that's the thing. Chances are you're eating that white, and even though you're eating probably other processed, we'll just say that it's all that granulated white sugar in the bag. Now, when you eat that and it goes inside of you, it goes inside your vascular system and starts thickening up your blood. Even if it doesn't, just imagine it like that and slowing it down like molasses. Now, your blood slows down, even though it's still going just as fast, but just imagine that it's like getting more like molasses, even how it's going around like that.
All right.
And it's getting more thicker and thicker and thicker and thicker until they got to take your foot.
Yep. There's a guy across the street wouldn't stop drinking. Diabetic, and he wouldn't stop drinking. Loved his vodka. And he lost his leg.
Yeah, because if it stops, you're just going to have to go in and cut a section of that sap out of you.
Yep. Yep. I could have helped him. There are ways that can help, but he's not the type to take to that type of lifestyle. He's just going to keep drinking. So. Equal sizes, cut them into squares. Nice. I have some ginger tea with lemon and honey. Yeah, I'm eating a lot of lemons lately.
Lemon. I had this.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's half decent. It's just pure lemon juice. So
yeah, I get a lot of it too because it's cheap. There was a bunch on sale. You know what I mean? So I got it.
Yeah, it's still got the right acid mix and all that, even though it's not fresh. It's still.
Yes, that's what I thought too. I thought the pH is right for what I want, and I use that in the morning. I'll add that to my beverage, to water.
Yeah.
And talk about yum yum. It's really friggin' good.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, that helps with your stomachs too. Just like people with high stomach acidity. Actually, lemonade will take down the acidity. It's more alkalizing than it is acidic in your body. Although it's like an acid outside your body, inside your body, it turns to alkaline.
That's what I'm drinking here.
Helps with digestion. Also, like Dee was saying, that the skin will be affected. I've heard reports that your lungs, nasal cavities, eyes are probably going to be affected. That's what I think is going to happen. Because if they're going to actually cause radiation burns or effects on the skin, it's going to affect all the soft tissues first. So the lungs, eyes, mouth, nasal cavities.
Yeah, that ginger.
Anus, genitals, possibly.
Yeah. See, all that stuff starts making more sense. The ginger.
Hi, Steve. The which?
The ginger with the lemon.
Yeah.
It all starts making sense.
Very cleansing, yeah.
Yeah,
and alkalizing.
Yeah. Yeah. You just think of how it leaves your body and how, in what condition. And it's like, hey, happy. That's the point.
Yeah. Going to be cleaning and listening. All right, Steve-O. Yeah, who was attacked last night, Mark? I was actually okay last night. It was a little hard. My teeth hurt for a little bit, like just not hurt, but they get like an acidic type feel to them. They kind of do now too. Very acidic.
I can't believe I have no pain in my teeth.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I'm dancing. It might be like because right now I honestly am in a spot where I'm not in pain, and I'm waiting for. I shouldn't. I'll manifest it. I'm sitting there going, oh, I should wait for him. I'm not even going to say it. No, I'm expecting to feel better, even.
Yeah.
And I'm expecting my body to even give me back a little bit of what stress is taken from it.
Yeah.
And grow stronger. And I'm.
Yeah. Once you get that stress out of your body.
Like these are the months when that happens too, because it's going to stay a little bit warm, and then it's going to slowly get a little bit cooler. And I'm going to use that. I'm going to go with that naturally. Like, hopefully, meaning I'm going to let myself eat with the cool, so that I eat and get my metabolism right up to what it's supposed to be for that time of year. Like, if that makes sense, like for the winter.
Yeah. In the winter, the electricity passes through the air a lot easier.
Yeah.
So they can transmit a lot more. In the summer, we have all the humidity. So it kind of stops it, and the trees and leaves and all that, they emit a field.
The lazy, hazy days of summer.
Yeah.
They could get the robots to stand up and walk around, but that's the point. The robots are like, in this humidity?
So you're getting ready for the winter.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always great getting ready for the winter if you actually want to think about it. And if you accidentally get ready for the winter too early, well, that's great because then you get to have yourself a little party. Now, don't you think about it?
We've denounced the papal bulls there. Noah was asking about the papal bulls if we could set them on fire. we could give it a try.
It's
Maybe have
a
a rat shit and piss on it. Maybe that would wipe it out. Get a raccoon in there to chew it up.
Yeah.
And get some rats in there to piss and shit on it.
Look at this. It's a blast from the past here. I don't know if you've ever had. Yeah,
Sweet
of course
tarts. Yeah,
sweet.
I remember those. Morgan's sugarizing himself.
Yeah.
He's going to be doing circles around the couch in a minute.
I put it on my tongue and I make a little thing. I pretend it's tobacco. And I keep it away from my teeth.
Yeah, we could try that sometime, no? Go in and play with the papal bull. I second that, no, yeah.
Run with the paper bull, get him to turn it on. Yeah, the paper bull.
We denounced it. It has been denounced by many people many times.
Sinead O'Connor. Just to mention.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, Sinead O'Connor did that in front of the whole world on Saturday Night Live. She took a picture of the paper book. And she threw that piece of paper of the paper book completely. People were pissed. Cool. Especially the poop. He pooped.
She just died recently too, didn't she? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very beautiful woman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mark, I sleep in these clothes as well. I don't. I'm never without them. Pretty much 24/7, unless I'm showering or otherwise engaged. But yeah, I wear them 24/7. In the winter, I found this helped. I started 3 years ago. I used to get a sick, achy feeling in the winter. For the whole winter, I'd get. I wouldn't get sick, but I'd just feel run down, sleepy, and achy. started wearing the radiation-proof T-shirts, and that completely stopped. So, yeah, they made a huge. An ionizer in your room would be good too. If you can get negative ions put out, yes, that's awesome. A water feature will do that as well. If you can get like a fountain or something. Smoking and G Sharp did that in her home. She moved to a drier area, and I told her to put a water feature in her house, and it helped with the. She was getting shocks off everything constantly, and that just stopped it in her house. So there's good solutions, and get yourself some lead paint. Do that. I'm thinking of actually ordering some myself. Although it's kind of hard because I live in an apartment, and yeah, it's just a pain in the ass.
Increase the water, right? The barometer. Increase the water in the atmosphere, and the shocks will stop. That's right, Max. Put a pot on the stove, put some water in it, and turn it on like 3 or yeah, it'll stop it.
Yeah. You can turn up the humidity level if you have a thermostat too. That can help.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you figured you'd do the same? Yeah.
And they had it back in the 1700s, man.
Yeah. Well, you ever stood around a fountain or a waterfall? You feel that that cool air coming off of it.
Oh, I got
even
it. Right.
in you know, that's all ionized air. That's all got negative ions in it, and really good for you. So it's good to hang around water. Very grounding. And, the ionized air is good for you as well. Breathing that in, being around it. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I've done. That really helped with the sick, achy feeling, but it didn't stop the toothaches. But the grounding devices stop the toothaches. So I'm pretty well protected now, except when I don't know what will happen once they crank it up this year. I've been monitoring it. They've kept it rather low recently. I think what that is what you do is you can get people used to it. Their body's used to it being at a lower level. So when you do pump it up, it has a greater effect. So that seems to be the method I saw used over the past 3 years.
Okay. I'm getting like a musical transmission in my soul.
Uh-huh.
Like there's musical waves that feel like they're coming in and color, but it's not color, but it's somnolescence, which would have to be. And it's giving me in like a dream music that I'm to write or that I'm supposed to play. And right now, like a music box, like a waterfall, the water flowing backwards and up, breaking the rocks and making a note. It's playing itself and you pick it out. And it will come out later. It's just wild when it's doing it. It's wild. But I know when it's happening.
Yeah. Yeah, I play, right now I'm playing 528 in the background.
Hurts, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you should have some I have frequencies playing in the background pretty much all the time. Usually 428, 530, or 432 or 528, 7.83, or Schumann resonance. There's a lot of good ones you can get. And I was just, you saw earlier that video. I'd like to get that book that guy has, because every condition, every cancer, every bone, every organ has a specific frequency.
Yes. And it can be got, yes, you can target it.
Like, what's the frequency of magic mushrooms? Wouldn't that be a good one to use?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm allowed to play the frequencies at work. They let me do that. So I could play some mushroom frequencies
Man,
and get everybody high.
brother. Okay, it's even a Doctor Who episode in that.
Yeah.
On the disc, take the disc, put it on your tongue. It's a program. It'll get you high. It's a program, though, right?
Okay.
The program will get you chemically high. But it is dope, and it does get sold by dealers because it literally is chemical program. But it's the guys that
Yeah.
sell.
Okay. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, man. The guy down at GameStop, he's the guy in the black coat. But I mean, he said he's got like the taco stand. Exactly. And they're selling that program. They're selling that program, and they're like, "What would you want? Like joy? What do you want? This and that."
Yeah. Yeah. I could see them doing that. Absolutely.
I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, there was the Doctor Who was good for that. They did an episode with cars, and what it was is the cars put out pollution and suffocated people, and because they had the OnStar thing, they couldn't get out of their cars,
Yes.
and couldn't move.
This is where I was.
And that was done just before before the wildfires.
This was in my mind, Max.
Yeah.
Like in my brain, I was inside of that car that you were just in. Now they have to stand that they can hardly ever go. And when someone else shows up, it's like, whoa! Went through a manhole in the bottom of it. And I was thinking about them philosophizing and in that car. That's right, man. And people spend like months or years on the highway, or like their lives, or like I couldn't figure,
Yeah.
That was a crazy episode, man. Like I was watching those back then, man.
Yeah.
And
That's the Soma of the future, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, it is.
But we could probably transmit those frequencies and freely give to all, right?
Well,
that was the promise. They promised us when it was Popular Science magazine back in the 70s, promised us that we were going to be happier because of wireless radiation because they were going to transmit a frequency that would make us happy.
Yes.
But what they do, the exact opposite,
Yeah.
They use it for agitation.
Well, no, but yeah, I was just gonna say because they're gonna say stimulation is just the same, arousal is just the same, and you're like, why do you have to agitate? And they're like, sir, it's all just your own personal perspective. I suggest possibly you get a religion, possibly one of the Eastern ones, or even maybe the New Testament. Have you heard of a man named Jesus? Thank you very much for your time, sir. Bye. No, but for real, right? It's like either adopt a philosophy of what you believe is going to manifest in your own body, or the Jesus experience where the consciousness of Christ, meaning there is a creator who gave you life, who says, look, I'm not the one who's fucked up. Well, I am, and I'm sorry. Meaning what? You're the thing I fucked up. Oh, that sucks. But it's because I gave you choice. And I don't think that you should have to be separated from me forever. Because you made a mistake. That's kind of fucked up. And I love you. And you were created to have a relationship with me forever so that you could experience and dwell in love as I do, because I felt it was pretty cool. And being love and having the personality of light, I went ahead and made another being. The thing is, outside of time and space, that being is Lucifer. And, the thing being that there was choice, vanity, exists because it chose it, right? And I believe it because I've lived and I've wanted to be in control, but it was only because of fear and cowardice. And I get older and I see no order like the consistency of day and night and the season. And so rather than trust in myself, I will trust in that. And I will have a much better grounding of my mind. In fact, I will become sound because instead of believing in a fairy tale, I believe it is naturally true. And I have faith that my love is real and is what holds together my consciousness for life, forever. You know, the thing is, I do believe that separation from the Creator is death. And anything can separate you from Him that isn't perfect. And people can use that to write a real racist narrative when what they leave out, because you can, if you only talk about the one side until the other side steps up, everybody, that side seems to be right. Look how bad and wicked this person is. Look how easy it is to be damned forever. Look how easy it is. He hates you. He hates you. Until the other side gets up and goes, everything my defendant just said was true. And I honor him and thank him for his perspective and his time. Why would you even say that? Because I love you. And more so than what you do, I want you to know that I care about you. Fuck you. I love you. And I forgive you for that. Jerry, we feel that this man has done nothing wrong with this other man, but try and be his friend. Damn you, Morgan. Damn you and your love. Jerry, who here do you think is cool? This guy. Oh, that guy with the love. Thank you. It was a popularity contest, and I win. How do you feel about that, Satan? It burns. It burns. Even the world went out to follow Jesus, man. And they had to figure out something to do because even the world went, you know what? This guy's actually a cool guy. He's got it. He's got it down. So when it means the truth, the people actually did go for it when Jesus brought it to them. That time they were like, we get it and we buy this. And they were like, we've got to kill this guy now. Or Judea, all and become Roman. It's gonna, and the faith is gonna be for naught. Somebody's got to go down. Now, perspective one. What's his name would have come to Jesus and said, are you willing to do this? Because he said it's expedient for somebody to die. Because if that happens right now, it'll plant a seed that'll exist forever and all time. And I was, I think it was Caiaphas. He stood up in Sanhedrin and said, yeah, Joseph. And he stood up and he said, somebody's going to die for the people. And he did too. And he went through it. But he wasn't popular. They didn't like him. Nobody liked him.
Masons worship the big L, and look what they do. Well, yeah, they kind of do. So does the Pope. The Pope worships to Lucifer every spring, the light bearer, Venus. So
they don't accept growth and fallibility. Where would they gain? What would they gain from stating that they're imperfect? Or from a relationship with God, with how they see things.
Mm-hmm.
It is it.
Yeah, know the Creator, the All Spark, whatever your particular bent on it is.
Spirit, love, magic. Some people would argue that, except for in the Bible, there's a story about 3 wise men who were magi, the magi, and they were from the east of Orient Tartaria, and they followed the writings that spoke of when kings would be born and what signs would be in the sky. And at a certain time, the writings, they went, and it didn't even say, oh yeah, the story in the old thing said this. It says no, they had calculated from the old writings. They calculated from astrological charts when the baby was going to be born, and then figured out it's now.
Yeah.
It's now. And they went
Now's
out
the time. Yeah, the three wise men.
trusting
From the east.
wise magi who were from Orient Tartaria. From the east they came, looking for the child. And how come? Because we've seen it in the stars. It's written.
Yeah.
So these were men who had ancient knowledge and knowledge which was both real now and would be in the future true as well. And I'm sure it wasn't the only thing that these men knew. I'm sure they knew many things about physics and the relationship between properties of compound and substances. And they could use these things in order to manipulate whatever it is. The orders that God gave Adam were everything. Look, Lord, everything. I want you to subdue everything in creation.
But only after he took the knowledge of good and evil.
I think, I'm not sure if the orders came before that even. Like to be the caretaker.
Oh, possibly, yeah.
To be the caretaker
Yeah,
of the garden. And it's like all that, it's like.
We're looking for the child now, pretty sure. Like,
be fruitful. And it's like, so at that point would have been in knowledge and to grow in understanding, right? Until if a child that he had said, Dad, why or how the father could sit down and explain to the son the way that his mind could wrap around what his father told him. Yeah. In a way that he could understand. And in order to understand, there must be feeling. And what do you mean? Because to understand, and like the spark of life, and that's like because you weren't connecting with what? Understanding the truth. And what is feeling? Feeling the truth. You feeling me? Always when they use the ghetto word means the truth. You feeling me? It doesn't just mean you're feeling me. It means the painting where they go like this. It's the mind and the cerebrum, but what is the whole thing for? It's to feel. It's to feel. Therefore, you are alive. Not to think. Hey, I can think. There'll be a bunch of fancy robots, I'm sure. They'll even look. I can make myself offspring.
Well, people are trying that already. They've got the the sex dolls that talk and stuff. They're like Siri in a sex doll.
Of course.
People are marrying them.
Of course, it would happen like that first. It would be used for that first. It would be first used to scratch an itch.
Yeah.
So first men made what they make. What God only spell it backwards.
Yeah, lowest common denominator there. And that's how they slip it in, right? It's in your life then, right? It's your life. Because you're married to it.
Yes.
Married to the technology.
Married to the I-O or the AI.
Yep.
The A&R department, arts and entertainment. Oh, A&E.
Your wife brought to you by Disney.
Yeah. The kaleidoscope of your mind.
Hey, just think about it. How many guys would want to have a Disney princess for life,
Not this latest one. Not this Giselle.
Hey, Amber Dawn.
I forget Renee Zellweger. No, not Zellweger, but whatever this anorexic. I'm not sure what she is, but
It's bad. It is bad that I kind of want to get one of those sex dolls. I'm kind of caught between a rock and a hard place, if you know what I mean.
Oh.
Well, whatever works for you.
I've been
just you're married to the AI, you know.
I could suggest something else, like a good fishing program.
A good fishing program, yeah.
Like, for real, there's some really good ones.
Or you can continue the hunt for a good woman. There's that possibility too.
Yeah, like, I wonder if even like I feel I'm saying here, if I feel like okay, I've got to go for a walk because I'm gonna maybe meet somebody. I don't know. I just got that feeling, and if I don't go out, I won't meet them. Now, when I get up and go for that walk, chances are, if there is a woman who got up saying the same thing, whether she's done it for 3 years in a row or whether it's the first night she's done it, I'm going to scoop her up. And that's how that works.
Yep, you got to go out there and do stuff.
Well, but the thing is, you'll get them if there's one out there, but you got to go fishing.
Yep.
And that's where some guys are like, how do I do it? How do I meet women? How do I do this? And you find out sometimes they'll do this, that, and the other thing. Sometimes they can be right there in the stream. Sometimes
Join a club. Go take a course. You know, go to public events. You know, get yourself out there.
yes, exactly, Max.
Yeah.
Exactly. Proactive for yourself.
Yeah, and if
Get
you're at
yourself out
like an
there.
event or something like that, you know, you have probably something in common.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
exactly.
If you're
And-
taking a pottery course, you both have a kind of an interest in pottery. Okay, that's something to talk about. You know,
You don't have to be insane about, oh, I'll never run into this person again, because you obviously have something in common. Which also brings down the threat of when they see you again. Because when they see you again, they're going to
laundromat. Yeah, there you go. Church.
They're going to associate you with that positive thing.
Send out random dick pics. Yeah, that'll work too. Right? There's Tinder.
A lot of lonely women.
Yeah, I don't know how old you are, but apparently in the 50 plus range, men are quite the commodity. So the older you get, the more value you gain as a man.
That's right. Like that's the thing, right? And the thing is, I tell myself that saying the fact that I'm like, I think I'm 45. I might be older, but I think I'll forget, and then someone like my mom will remind me, and I'll be like, oh, I had gotten it 2 years.
What year were you born in? What year were you born in?
77.
Okay, so you're you're 45. I'm going to be 55 this year, so that's pretty easy to figure out.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I mean, the thing is, okay.
Oh, Amber says the random dick pics definitely doesn't work. I don't know. Well, you never know though. Like we don't know what he's packing there. You know?
I was joking, by the way. Like, and it's weird because it feels like it's got smaller because I've gotten like more testosterone, and I didn't like. I'm not injecting it, but I mean, it's weird. But for a white male, when you're chugging along, when you're healthy.
Yeah, you another 3 years there, Indy, and then you'll be a stud.
Yeah, and then well, that's how it is. Canada, because it's Canada, it gets cold.
I like Canadian weather. I don't like the cold isn't that bad really.
You know, it's only when it gets wicked cold. You know what I mean? Like,
It's when when the wind's whipping.
yeah, thank you.
Right in your face.
It's romantic when it's not whipping because
Yeah.
you dress for it, and it's what I just said. It's romantic even with yourself because of the peace while you're walking in what feels like space. And sometimes it sounds like the crunch in the evening, the crispness, your own thoughts being surrounded by but it's not dark. Because in Canada, the lights, if they're not there naturally from like the city, they're going to be there from the sky because, well, the sky's usually clear. Like, I mean, sometimes it's not, but I mean, it is a lot.
Yeah. And the sounds are different with snow. Every sound is different. It's all muted. You know, you get into a pine forest after it's snowed, you can have birds cawing, but they're off in a different pocket, you know? It's like you're in a pocket of space all by yourself, you know?
Yes, exactly. When you're standing there, you're standing on top of say fresh trodden snow, and it's breaking underneath your feet in clumps. So
yeah, love making trails in the snow. That's fun.
Yeah, and you feel as if you're breaking something very expensive every time you
it's glass every time you step. Yeah,
that's right. But that's how you feel, as if every time you're stepping on fine porcelain in good china, and it's like, and you feel like a giant stepping on china, fine glass.
just ate a giant cookie from the new batch. Nice. We'll see in an hour. Yeah.
I mean, growing up, I used me and my friends. Like I grew up with the island here and the natives, and I mean not just that, but the culture. But I mean I used to think every other Canadian used to grow up like this, and I don't know if it was a culture or the time, but we did a lot of drugs.
Yeah.
Not just like I did do this drug constantly over and over. No, we wanted to trip. We wanted to experience things. Like
we just did a lot of pot. We just did a lot of pot and hung out.
And I did a lot of pot, and I would smoke pot with a lot of people. But that's the thing. I extended my love for pot, like meaning the period where people are like, oh, and some people go, that's immaturity. But no, not when you're really into it, and people are like, hey, I like smoking with you because you got like what people say is like the best pot. My guy was the best because I met him when I was like young, and he was going out with a guy that knew Mark Emery, even like just meaning he was like, you know, a guy who was just friends with him, and that's how. This guy was majorly into growing, and so this guy left his house at like grade 9 and went to live with the guy, and I always had, and they would get pot, and the pot that they would get would be, I would say, rivaled right about what they're getting now, like when they're hitting 34% with their weed. Like some of the weeds now, they're getting so sticky now.
Yeah, you could hang around pot stores to find women who have something in common. They like to smoke pot.
Yeah.
There's something too.
Oh yeah, that's a good, and you wouldn't believe it, but I mean, that's the thing. You can base a relationship around that.
Thanks. Yeah. Hi, Shangy girl. Good to see you.
The bulls and they like dabs. They can do dabs. Like some people, like there's just different things to try. And even if you just like flower, the very thing of them will show them, get them their own plant, so that they can start, even if it's just 1 or 2 to 10, tell them it's okay if they wreck it, just have some fun, and they'll love it. Even if the first one doesn't go so great, but even
if they just like smoking pot with you, that's good enough.
Yeah, exactly. And They might not even roll their own doobies.
Yeah, you might become useful for them, you know.
And but that's the thing.
Mrs. Max doesn't. My wife doesn't smoke pot, so.
Especially if you smoke good stuff, like, and it's weird. What not weird, but like if you meet like where you can go in your consciousness with somebody else. It's fun.
Never found a musician girl. Yeah, they're probably rare. Girl bands are pretty rare. They're not as common.
Yeah, I would think everybody would be trying to pull them apart from each other all the time because they're capable. Because hey, come to our band, hey, and in front of our band, you're good. Believe me, and then you can have your own band because what you front, as opposed to being strong with the other 3 or 4 and making it. Which you get it? They want to break them apart.
Yeah.
In order to grab that energy that they have that they're using for, well, the other girls. What a waste. I bet, and that's how they see it too. The guys like,
yeah, when they could profit off 4 different, institutions instead of just one. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Very selfish.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all those bands you hear about them, the Pussycat Dolls and all that, and it's like, but they seemed like that they would be women that would get calls from Saudi Arabia and stuff. Hey, you come to a concert.
Yeah.
Meet my camel. I give you.
Yeah, I think they've done that. Pretty sure.
Yeah. Yeah, they did. They do.
Yeah.
It's weird when you think to yourself, "Oh no, not this person," or "Oh no, that person." Is like, are they in the entertainment business? Wait, are they successful? Yeah. Okay. Then they do it.
Yeah. Then they do what they're told to do.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's what they're famous for. Oh, no,
yeah.
no. This part and that part, the other part. Yes, they're a very famous robot. Very famous.
Yeah. There's a musician called Corey Hart, and my wife likes to tell this story of how she knew his cousin, and he was as good, if not, he was better than Corey Hart, but he wouldn't blow to do the show, so he said no.
Yeah.
And he's not famous now.
Yeah, no.
Corey Hart said yes to the blow, and now he does the show. So yeah, it's all give and take there in a underhanded, shady, disgusting way.
The thing that unless it's a business that you built from yourself, that you've still got a handle on, and no one's gotten it from you.
Oh, and they'll destroy you. They'll destroy you. You'll never go anywhere. They'll never produce you, and you'll never get a label.
Yes, that's right.
Not going to happen. That's why this rich guy from Richmond, we'll have to keep an eye on him. Rich man from Richmond, you're seeing that. So we'll have to keep an eye on that guy.
Yeah.
He still lives in a trailer, apparently. He's been offered contracts and stuff and lots of money. Refused it all. So we'll see what happens with him.
Mm-hmm.
See if he makes it organically. If we can, he's getting promoted. He's making money off his own sales. So, that's a good change to see.
It is. It is. And that you can still get a song out there telling the truth, and it can catch fire.
And they're very popular. Everybody, it's becoming popular now. Even Dolly Parton putting out stuff. A lot of country music.
Yeah, country music for sure.
And a few of the rock bands. Yeah, most of them are still gone, but yeah. Okay. What did you think he was talking about, Amber? Booger sugar. How long have you had that for, in the groove? That's white blotter. I haven't seen that since I was a teenager. I haven't done acid since I was in my early 20s.
They can order it now, Max, on like online.
Oh yeah.
And I heard that. I was like, you serious?" And I'm like, yeah. That's what a lot of people are getting the hits that
Wow.
commercially. Yeah, you can order a blotter because even though they're blotter, it's still the stuff that they put on the cartoon acid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cartoon blotter acid.
Yeah.
And that's what I would want. I want sunshine, but I know that sunshine wouldn't be the sunshine. But they'd be like, "What? I want white clinical." Like, or just, give me white clinical again. And that's the thing.
Wow.
I don't need to do that again. Like, I don't need to read the same script.
Yeah.
I actually ask somebody that I trusted shamanistically, what is something that would give me, or has given older people a giddy high, that they would say, hey, you know what I mean? I didn't want to. Like, I mean, you're not.
Yeah. I don't need
You
the
want
mind blasting
Yeah, it's like I'd rather it be.
and the physical strain of acid because it
Yeah,
really.
like I'd rather it just do the thing where I get relief of understanding that I'm okay with dying, and the acid's gonna know that anyway. And it's like, well, we'll find out. But if it's like, okay, you did that fine. I just want to take you to a dream though, rather than to your death and beyond. I'd like to take you to a carnival in your mind that is mostly fun because it should be. That's the thing. No more chemically is it like, oh, you have a bad trip. It's like, no. So I'd like it to be like that, the acid. And they can affect it like that too. You can make it so that it's like this should be smooth. And you'll come out of it going, wow, that was what I wanted. I wanted to feel as if.
Mushrooms are good for that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, make it feel like a good mushroom trip. Yes, like that.
Yeah.
It's like,
I like microdosing with mushrooms. That's I should order some. I keep saying I should, and I don't.
Well,
I've put the money in the bank for it. Even I've got the money for it.
If
I'm
you only
already.
take like a gram of the best mushrooms, you're gonna be going, oh, I wish I took a bit more, because you're gonna feel like you're orgasming, like you're gonna feel like you're edging. Like, for real. It can make it come alive and be like, whoa.
Yeah,
And then
depends on the strain though. Like,
yeah, if it's a sexual kind and it starts tingling you can start feeling tingly all over.
Like penis envy. There's penis envy. That's
and it'll.
I don't know if that does that. I tried it. It didn't really make me. I don't know. It wasn't as good as some others, I would say.
It's like,
maybe it's better for girls. Maybe girls need the penis envy.
I know, like, I don't know if it did because like you did when you were younger, but there's certain kinds that certainly seems to enhance more, like.
Yeah. There's like the BC mushrooms I used to get when I was young. They were always a giddy high.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You can get them too, and you can become like giddy as you're like.
Yeah. Now the popular brand is or strain is Golden Teacher. It's more of a contemplative, introspective one people use for meditation.
Now that's the one that I like.
Yeah.
I liked it when I got that, and I felt like young, like especially if I take like and that was because I was trying to have a trip, and I'd eat it, and I'd go on a journey, like in my mind, and I'd want to learn something or something like that, or I'd want to go to some place in my consciousness and have fixed something, contemplate something.
Mm-hmm.
It always would too. And when you came out of it, it could really fix short-term depression. Like, or what I used to find, people want to describe a teenage angst. It's like, well, hey man, right, do like, the shrooms or like the acid. And like acid really restored my love for life. So did weed, but I mean, like, some people are like, what? I'm like, no, like, I was already a Ritalin kid, so taking amphetamines every day. I was burnt out, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, getting up so early for school riding on the bus every day from 5 in the morning till 5 at night. Like, come on. That's too much for a kid. I was like 13 and 14. Like,
yeah, the school system sucks. We know that.
yeah. So when I got high, like, which was like in grade 9, I loved it, man. And then by grade 10, I still wasn't smoking a whole lot, even though I looked at it as a stoner guy. But that's just because it really worked on me. Like, but I was still just smoking like a gram on the weekend with my buddies, you know?
Yeah.
Which is great fun. Getting the video games and, you know, like, and then going for a walk at the park, you know, like that was, we started, like, other than sports, we all started going outside and going like camping again and doing different things to get high, you know?
We always hang out in the woods to get high, you know?
Exactly. I remember going to the woods and we were getting high, and it's like, hey, the trail is everything. And we started hanging out with our friends again, like from when we were kids, calling, hey, want to come out and play? All of a sudden, I wonder if our parents were like, well, they probably knew, right? But it's like, yes, all of a sudden when they became 13, 14, they all of a sudden all wanted to go out and play together and had sudden urges to mow our lawns.
Yeah.
But, you know, right. Not the worst thing, though, right?
Yeah.
And luckily, my mom knew that it wasn't hurting anything.
Yeah.
So that was good. Like,
cool.
So when she asked me, so what drugs are you doing? She asked me one day, I was outside the library in town, right here.
Yeah.
A little bit of acid, but mostly I was smoking weed. She's like, oh, okay. There was no, you're in trouble, or that's where you got to stop right back. She's like, doesn't smoke it. She's like, don't smoke in my house.
Yeah, I had to hide my weed consumption, definitely.
But
gonna shut it down in about 10 minutes.
But yeah, there was no, because they knew the truth.
Yeah.
That can harm you. No, you can get in trouble for it, but it shouldn't harm you.
Yeah, I was one of the first Ritalin kids too. They tried to get me on Ritalin. Didn't want to do it. Made me feel really fucking weird and spacey. But other kids liked it.
Yeah, they just gave me more then. Yeah. Now that was right. Once I started giving it to the other kids, they really liked that. That was, I used to trade, the shrooms that I would get a lot would be because I would trade the Ritalin pills for the shrooms. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh yeah. And you'd be like, whoa, they were going for that. Yeah, because around that time, they were coming out on A Current Affair. All that kind of stuff as being cocaine, like the Ritalin, you know, they were showing kids how to do it and everything. So they wanted to do it. And then once they found out, oh, it friggin' works.
Yeah.
Then it's like, oh, right on. Hey, what? Like, you want? And like I got a lot of it a day. So when you can say to somebody, hey, do you want 10 of those pills for, you know, like a gram of shrooms? It's like, sure, man. Like, right on, right? Bam, 10 Ritalin pills. Get, you know, here you go, the gram of shrooms or 2 grams of shrooms. No problem.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe you could die laughing. Amber wants to know if we can die laughing. Maybe.
I think so. It's probably been reported that somebody did
have a heart attack or something.
They probably choking and didn't even know.
Yeah, choking. Losing your shit. Yeah.
Yeah, because they didn't take in enough oxygen, so they. It's like I think it was a stroke. Like,
the Monty Python Killer Jokes episode. I don't think I've seen that one. I don't remember it. Don't watch it unless you want to die, Amber. Yeah, with mushrooms, yeah, you can get the giggly ones. Malabar is the strain that's a giggly one. And I think that's what they got from BC. I think it's a BC strain of mushroom. Really giggly. Like me, I took a couple of years ago, took some with a buddy of mine, and we just sat around for like about an hour and a half, 2 hours, just giggling over stupid shit.
Oh, that'd be great. No, I like that acid, man. Like when you get that kind of acid, you do it, you start. Now, people would be like, wait, if the acid is good, you should. Most acid, especially when I first would take it, would have me giggling.
Mm.
First 15 minutes, and all of a sudden you think, oh my goodness, it's giggling, shit, you know? And I'd find that was common. But if you keep giggling, holy fuck, you know it's gonna be good because you'll be laughing too. If you're like still laughing like an hour in,
Yeah.
you're gonna have a really great time because
With acid, I have all kinds of different waves of experience. I've never had a negative experience, but yeah, different waves of experiences, energy, concentration, you know, detailed, you know, different ways of behaving, and I go through them all. Hyper, I go through hyper stages.
I had everything happen.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I think everything happened to me.
Bad trips? You had a bad trip?
Yeah, I mean, other people might have considered it one, like for sure, except, like, I guess, but not really, man. It just went both ways, like the one way and the other way. Meaning, if they said, "Well, you went to God," then you also went, "Yeah, Satan." It turns out it was myself. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh.
Yeah, me and a buddy on acid. He says you can drink massive amounts of alcohol on acid too. Yeah, I think we had 72 beers.
Yeah.
In I think it was about 5 hours. We were doing a job. We were working on a pool, filling it in or something. I can't really remember what, tearing up some part of it. But we were really thirsty, and each beer went down in about, a few seconds. And yeah, drank 72 beers, but we were on acid. Yeah, a lot of beer.
It's wild how it's like that too.
Yeah. It's magical. Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. And then like I'm not sure if it's part of the chemical, but like sometimes like it's just how it is. But I mean other times you get it is laced with speed. Like okay, but like it can feel like it too. Just a trip, you know what I'm saying? But if you've ever done speed, if you ever done meth, it's like, hey, that's similar. Like, yeah, sometimes you can have a trip on acid, but just because whoa, felt like a meth trip.
Never done meth. I've done speed. But yeah.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, I want to get some. I always say animascari. I can never say that properly. Those animascari mushrooms, the red and white ones. I want to try those for a good trip. They say to get a good trip out of mushrooms, if you want it to be like a DMT or a ayahuasca trip, to take about 7 grams. But with the Animastida or Animascara mushroom, I think it doesn't take as much.
Right on, because like
it's meant for that trip. It's the equivalent in the Germanic area to ayahuasca.
Like
it's deadly when it's fresh. It has to be dried out.
Oh, wow.
Or poisonous. I don't know if it's actually deadly, but
no, I get what you're saying though. It's got to be dried,
mm-hmm.
like so that it does its thing. That's wild.
Right, Amber? That's exactly what happened. We ran out of beer too. Yeah.
Oh,
functional drunk. No, we weren't that functional. Not really.
No, not me.
We thought we were. Oh, hi, Dee. Dee's back. Sorry if I left you there hanging, Dee. How you doing? On for another 5 minutes.
Well, the echo finally cleared up in here.
That's good.
Right on.
So your opinion on mushrooms, good or bad? Yes, no?
Mushrooms, yes.
What about acid?
Absolutely. Mushrooms are the way of the future.
I think so. Yeah, they can use them for just about anything. They're doing studies in Canada now with mushrooms,
The
magic mushrooms.
mycelium are, of course, the mycelium are a great complement to the plant and animal kingdom. They're like the third kingdom.
Yeah.
They function a little different from a plant and a little different from an animal. And yet I think they have a sort of intelligence.
I would agree. Yeah, they do. They
Yeah.
do show that they communicate. The trees communicate through them as well.
Yes,
So
all the time when you take
Yeah, oh
them.
yeah,
How come
trees
I'm
have an
communicating with that
intelligence.
tree
Plants
now?
have an intelligence.
it's like the phone system for the trees, right?
I
So,
do that. That's one thing I will
Yeah.
say too. It's like, yeah, sometimes when you take them, it's like, yeah, you yes, you go inside the tree.
right, and we get connected to that network, I think, too. We have the receptors in our brains for the mycelium and
Oh, those silly mycelium, they're so
those
silly.
products in the mycelium. They're accepted by our brains, so you know.
Yeah,
We're definitely
obviously,
connected.
obviously we're meant to work together as a team.
Yeah. Same with cannabis, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Integrated
And
trees,
actually,
100%. Your
you
mic's having
know,
trouble there, I think.
I have plenty of skills. Oh yeah, I can do all kinds of things.
Cool. We have Cubanus shrooms here.
Oh.
Cubanus.
Cubana.
Oh, cubensis.
Okay. Never heard of those. Let's check out their properties.
I wonder if
I drink coffee with functional mushrooms all the time. You know, like there's seven different mushrooms in my coffee.
So, common physical reactions include muscle relaxation, pupil dilation. In greater doses, mushrooms can cause visual and mental hallucinations, spatial distortions. They're just talking in general. What is cubensis used for? It's used for triggering psychedelic experiences after ingestion. Okay.
Oh.
Major psychoactive compounds are psilocybin. Cool.
I've done a lot of Jimson weed, if you know what that is.
No. I'm liking turkey tail mushroom, good for the digestion, liver, kidney, all your organs. I'm getting really into that one. You can take it on a daily basis. It's has anti-cancer properties, high antioxidant. Really good stuff. A lot of people like shilajit too. That's a good tea.
Yeah, and I'm going to stock up on silver cream too.
Yeah. Is
If
shilajit
we've got something coming up affecting the skin, silver wings.
That's a good idea, yeah. I can powder some silver and put it into a cream. But is shilajit? It's a mushroom, isn't it? I think it is. Does anybody know?
I'm fermenting a lot of stuff. I'm
Okay.
fermenting.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like pickles, so that's my fermented food. Pickles and olives. I have huge containers of them. I love them.
Oh, great.
If
cubensis was
if,
imported.
you know what, beets, both Paul and I find
Yeah.
that beets are very important. If you can get organic beets,
Yeah. I don't eat enough beets.
it's helped me a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. The greens, get them with the tops. Get them organic with the good tops, and you can cook the tops. The tops are very nutritious too.
Oh, yeah.
But beets really,
Yeah, they have powdered beets you can buy.
you know what? He tried the powdered beets. He tried the supplement. It didn't work.
Yeah.
He got the real organic beets, and it worked.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a scam.
Yeah. All right, guys, it's time to cut it off. Thanks for showing up.
Right on.
Much love to you all. Until next Friday night. And D Ocean's doing a show tonight.
Okay.
We'll see you soon. Keep that third eye open. Use your intelligence and your intuition. Bye bye.
See you tonight.